Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful Thursday. Doing well on this beautiful Thursday. That everyone's week has gone well and that they've been able to do something great. DJ Philly Phil, what's going on, my brother? But I hope everyone's doing great today, that they had a great day, and that everyone's healthy. I just want to, before I bring our guest in and speak, I want to let everyone know, I want to thank everyone for their support through season one of Honest Hour. I will be doing the season finale of this show November 19th. That is a Tuesday. That'll be the last episode for season one, and probably going to take some time off until March. Season two, I'm looking to make some changes, do some things differently, do something bigger, better, and there's going to be some other things going on in the meantime. But tonight's guest goes by the name of Prince Gabe. She does multiple things. She's a member of the Mavor family. She's an actress. She's a model. She's a dancer. She is a photographer. She is a friend. She is a mother. She is a sister. She has a lot of hats. So we're going to bring her in and we're going to talk to her this evening. This thing turn on. There we go. And then there she is. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I'm chilling, excited to be here.
Oh, I appreciate you coming on, but you're sideways.
Yeah, got you.
Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, give me 1 second. As
Mm-hmm.
you know, I do a sports podcast as well. And I used to do this show on Thursday nights, but
Mm-hmm.
I had to move it to Tuesdays because football season's back. So I have to pay attention to sports as well. So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna be kind of just visioning the game while I'm doing this. And I've
Do
made
your
it
thing.
work. You know,
Football is
listen.
the one sport I could actually watch because it's funny. Can I curse?
Oh,
Because I curse a lot. I want to know
oh,
before.
that's fine. I'm all on the wrong thing
Okay.
here. Oh no, you. This is
Huh?
called honest. You be who you are. What's going on, Deshaun?
Hi, Carmen.
You do whatever you want to do. There we go. You know,
Okay, because I
I've
was
had people.
gonna say because football is one of those sports that's funny as hell.
Oh no, of course, football's great. Football. That's the reason why I started, in a sense. Started the sports. I started with the sports show. I started with the
Mm-hmm.
sports show, and then I kind of went to this show, and now this show has helped me get into different stratospheres. I actually had, and I'm a little subject to say this, but now I've said enough. I actually now about to be in talks with iHeartRadio, and
Ooh, do your
I,
thing.
I'm gonna have a platform where I can put artists onto iHeartRadio and get them in the rotation. So I already talked to Ralph Nisi and Jazzy about it. They were
Mm-hmm.
the first ones I thought of. So we're gonna make things happen.
As you should, and I can't wait to see it.
But I want to start off by saying I appreciate you coming on. We see each other all the time, but we don't know each other that well. But I can guarantee you this: we're gonna be friends by the end of this interview.
And I believe it.
You know, I've tried to build this platform to be comfortable for everyone, and I've seen great success, and I've been watching what you've been doing, and even still, I had to find a way to consolidate my questioning. But because
Uh-huh.
even still, that's one page, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
I'm
page two.
ready for the journey. It looks like a journey.
Listen,
Free building
I mean,
electric.
but no one really gets like this one I did with nickel plated L. He got a page. Like I got so many. I still have some of them, some of the originals. This one was Dolly Stars. We didn't get to finish. She got
Hmm.
to come back on. Had Big Keisha on here, but she told me she had an hour, so I purposely cut hers. Corbin Christensen, Page and some change. Saleha, Page and change. So
Yep.
I definitely do my research. I definitely try to make it comfortable. So we're gonna get started. Get right into it.
I would say because I could talk,
Oh,
so.
oh yeah. So we might be here for a while. Sorry for I was a couple minutes late. Had my daughter's open house, so I was there.
Ooh,
We left there at like 7:14, and I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be close, but it's okay. Had to stop, feed my youngest daughter, and then
mhm.
we just rolled in the house, got right on the thing. Oh man,
It'd
so
be like that.
you know how it goes. But first and foremost, are you originally from Newburgh?
Yeah.
Born and
Born
raised.
and raised. But I
And what were?
will say, though,
Mm-hmm.
both my parents are from the South. So my dad's from Alabama, my mom's from Virginia. So I was raised here, but you know,
You,
the raising was just a little different.
yeah, you got some Southern ties.
Yeah.
So people now. My dad is originally from the South, but he was primarily grew up here. But
Hmm.
when I go down south, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
you know
It is.
it's a little different. So even though you
Hmm.
were raised here, did your parents utilize a lot of those Southern roots that they
Yeah.
instilled? Oh
I got
man.
raised with the yes ma'am, no ma'am. Always say hi when you walk in.
Hmm.
The hospitality type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and how about disciplinary wise? Because even down
Yeah.
there, it's rough. They discipline a lot different down there.
I got my ass beat more times than I could count. I can tell you that.
Uh, Man,
I wasn't even a bad kid. I was chilling for the most part. Still got my ass beat.
but it didn't matter. You know,
Nah.
they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember when I went down because I got family, like my sisters down there, my grandmother, cousins, aunts, uncles. The first time I went down there, I'm just like, yo, this is weird. Like, I'm like, dang, y'all just talk back. Y'all just didn't say sir and got your ass beat. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But it's
Like,
also like really like a community. At least where like my family grew up. Cause like we as kids, like we could walk to the store that was down the street and around the corner. My parents wouldn't let us do that here in New York.
oh,
In Alabama though, we had like a little bit more freedom to like walk, and then you go into the dollar store. People there are like, "Hey, how you doing?" Will really actually like talk to you, have a conversation.
yeah.
And that's what's different about here. Like people here do not care. They don't care about you. They don't care about what you got going on. They don't want to say hi. You walk in
Nope.
the store, it's stank face. It's not hi, how you doing? Yeah, that's what
And
I
then
noticed.
And then they'll just walk in front of you, just like, yo, I had a lady at the open house,
Yep.
right? When you get there, you go by grade. So grade 6, 7, 8. I
Mhm.
had to go to grade 7 because my one daughter I was with is in grade 7. The lady sees me sitting there, standing there waiting for my turn. She's just gonna walk in front of me. And me, I know it don't seem like it, but I'm a very outspoken person. I was like,
Mhm.
excuse you. She goes, oh, you were waiting? I said, no, I'm standing here for my health, lady.
Exactly. What do you think I'm standing here for?
Yeah, like
It
I'm
is
standing here for
flabbergasting. I'm telling you, the things people will do,
yeah,
flabbergasting. It will blow your mind.
and then they look at you like you're wrong.
It, and exactly that. And exactly that. It's.
And on top of that, I'm a truck driver, so like I have pent up anger and aggression sometimes. So
Yep.
it's just like yo, come
That's
on, man.
that. That's that road rage that just it builds up when you don't let it out.
Oh yeah,
I feel like every type of emotion builds up when you don't let it out.
yeah, and then you get on to like 100, and your head's ready to explode.
Exactly.
So So, what was your experience like in Newburgh? Like when you were, since you seemed like you were back and forth, but all together, then what was your experience like growing up?
Hmm. I'd say for the most part, growing up for me was great, and that's pretty much because of my family. Now, if you wanted to talk about growing up in Newburgh, honestly, because I picked like good friends, I feel like it wasn't so bad. But I've seen my fair share of fakeness and treachery in these streets. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
people can be so.
Two faced. She's just gonna sip like Kermit.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
know,
they can be. I don't know, but I feel like in any place you gotta find your people, and
of
because
course.
the type of person I've always been way too nice. Like I've always been told my whole life I'm way too nice. So I found people that were nice or like nerdy or creative. I found my people, and I feel like because I stayed within that my group of friends, and I had a good group of friends, I was okay growing up because I've seen a lot of people go different ways. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all you
find your
gotta
people.
be right. You gotta be a good judgment of character, and we're not always good characters of judgment. Good, we don't always have. Yes,
Good
that's it.
judgments of character.
Yes, yes.
I do that so much. I do that so bad. Just flip whole words in a sentence.
Yeah, you like, but you knew where I was going. You knew where
Yeah,
I was
I
trying to get to.
I caught what you were throwing. I had it.
Like
Hmm.
I was the quarterback. You
Yeah,
received.
you know, one armed it.
Oh man, me, just took it like this and went to it.
I gotta do it.
So you know, so I recently seen that you're not an only child.
No,
I
not
didn't
biological.
realize your sister was your sister either. Um,
It's crazy because most people don't realize that I'm the little sister of who my sister is.
she's not tall at all.
None of us are tall, but I'm the tallest out of my sisters, so we're all short.
So wait, so how many sisters do you have, or siblings altogether?
I have there's six of us all together. I'm the youngest, so I have five other siblings.
Jeez. And then the other, so two sisters, two brothers.
Two sisters and three brothers.
Oh, you said six. Okay, you're the
Yeah,
youngest to six, but you're the tallest of your sisters.
yeah.
Oh
All my
man.
brothers are taller than me, but out of my sisters, I'm the tallest.
Okay, okay. And so, did you all grow up in the same house?
Me and the sister right before me, we grew up mostly in the same house. And then my older sister lived with us for a while. I lived with my brothers for a while. But it's mostly been me and my sister like growing up living together.
Okay, okay. Did y'all fight a lot? A lot of arguments.
Not really, but because my I have a family of goofballs. So like we're mostly like in the kitchen making up some song about whatever food we about to eat or making up some dance or playing karaoke. I really can't really count too many arguments I have with my sister.
That's a beautiful
Our
thing, though.
sisters. I'm sorry, what'd you
I
say?
said that's a beautiful thing, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
because
know.
I've seen some people who really do not like their siblings or really argue back.
Uh oh. Oh, must have lost her for a second there.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No,
I swiped over by accident.
oh, okay. I was just like, oh, that's all right. So you were
Like,
saying
well,
people.
interview over. That's it. Okay.
Well, that happened to me one time when I was interviewing Dolly Starr. She was in like a rough area, and then
Mm.
like it was just over. Like 45 minutes in, we was just getting to the meat and the bone, and it was like, all right, okay. Well, I'm like, that's cool.
Not the meat and the bone.
Yeah, get into the nice thick part. So you were
That mean
saying,
they work it to the bristle.
you know,
You ain't even make it all the way.
nope, just a couple minutes. It was over. Just good night.
Well, you
So you were saying you know people who don't always get along with their siblings?
Yeah, like I've seen people like whole fight their siblings, or their siblings slept with their boyfriend, or just a whole bunch of crazy stuff that at least in my world I wouldn't think a sibling would do to another sibling.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it's weird to think like how that works.
yeah,
Happened to two of my cousins. Like they grew up like brothers, and
like brothers.
yeah, brothers like the Wayans brothers were happy and
Yep.
we're singing and we're colors.
Give me
So
a high five.
they go to a
Got you.
party, go to
Uh huh.
a party.
Yeah.
My one cousin is talking to this girl. So then my other cousin comes and they're like, "Yo, what's up?" And he's like, "Yo, how do you know her?" He goes, "Oh, remember that girl I was telling you about?" And he goes, "Well, you remember that girl I was telling you about?
Oop.
They was sleeping with the same girl and didn't even know it."
Oh, see. At least that's an accident. I can understand. All right, you didn't know.
Oh,
Okay,
well, but it
it's
got ugly.
the knowing and
Yeah,
doing it anyway
yeah.
that gets me.
Well, after that part, they ended up getting into a fist fight over the girl at the club. Got kicked out the club. Then they went to jail. They got out, and then
Mhm.
they got in front of the police station, started fighting again. Then they were living in the same house. So they were fighting in the house. I'm like, yo, this is
At that
wild. Like,
point, separate.
you,
This
you know,
is the blood is thicker than water because
you
there's
know,
the
don't be
the
like,
full
yeah.
quote, not just that part, the full one.
And but the sad part is both of them kept sleeping with her. So
At that point, you can't be mad then. If y'all might as well just agree to share the girl
you,
at that point.
you know,
Yeah,
like maybe
y'all
it
might
is what
as
it
well come
is.
to an agreement, come to a consensus that we can all agree on. I, I take her Monday through Wednesday. You take her Wednesday through Saturday. I don't know.
Sunday she rests.
And Sunday she rests. Exactly.
Oh man.
Exactly.
So growing up, what were some of your interests and hobbies that you had?
Horses for sure. Anybody who knows me will tell you. Hold on. That wait. What do you mean? Because I was asking if I could take any more walks to my thing. You could take it. Uh, that was my niece.
No
Um,
worries.
huh?
No worries.
Oh, gotcha.
You
Oh,
good.
wait. What did you ask me?
Your interest in
I'm putting you
hobbies
through.
growing. You
Oh
said
yeah,
horses.
horses for sure. Anybody would tell you I've always loved horses. Animals in general. I wanted to be a vet when I was little, and I kind of
Well,
transformed that into now becoming a zoologist. Um, I like performing. I didn't know it so much then, but anytime I got to perform, I loved it, which is probably why I'm doing what I'm doing now. So
absolutely.
I was really shy. Reading for sure. Ooh, I could tell you some books, man. I used to be in my room reading books, eating sunflower seeds all the time. That was my hobby. That was like my whole childhood for the most part. Sunflower seeds and books. I have my favorite book tattooed right here.
What? It's backwards, so I can't read it.
Yeah, it says Abarat.
Oh,
It's a trilogy.
okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you was definitely in tune to reading.
Mm-hmm.
You was in tune to horses and sunflower seeds and
Yep.
performing.
Yep.
So you're an actress, a model, and a dancer now.
See,
What was the first interest of those three?
probably dancing.
Okay.
Because I would just dance just because I would dance with my sisters, make dances with my sisters. I would dance to no music. I think it's just how I let out any excess energy. So
Okay.
dancing first.
So dancing first.
Hmm.
And it just and it was that like did that ever spark the other two? Because the three things here that you do, and even with the photography, they're all intertwined,
Hmm.
I feel.
Yeah.
Because if you're dancing, and we'll get into this a little more later, it's a choreography, right? But if you're
Or
modeling, right,
yeah.
and you're going and you're doing a modeling show, it's a choreography, timing, and precision,
Hmm.
much like dancing. Acting, it's just a staged choreography of some sort. You're reading something, you have to you have to enunciate, you have to really make people feel what's real, so they're all kind of aligned in a
I'm
sense.
good at following directions, is what you're getting at. I'm good at being told what to do. Like,
Like, do this, do that, do that now.
yeah, that's true
but
to an
but
extent because you got to do that in all of them. But
right, you always have to really just be able to kind of pay attention and really have an understanding for what you're doing, because it's a lot of work, a lot of work. Because I be seeing the videos and all the, I'm like, yo, listen,
they're getting jiggy.
yeah, like when Ralph and Manny be posting them dances, my kids be
Oh, I
like,
love them.
oh, they're like, those are so cool. I want to do that. I was like, you want to throw out a hip? Go for it. If I try to do
Hmm.
what they be doing, yo, I'm
Pull a
like,
muscle.
like, yeah, pull a muscle. Man, I do a day at work. I'm like, oh, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna transition into the modeling. I think that's what I got here first. Yes. What are what is like the steps with modeling for you starting out? Was it more or less you just kind of did it, right? Or was it something where you went and was taught it?
Hmm. I got started modeling because my mom and a couple of other people said to get into acting faster, I should try modeling.
Okay.
So that's why I started. And then it's crazy because I literally only I've never been interested in modeling at all, except like when I used to watch like America's Next Top Model. I'd be like, oh, I could do that challenge. She's crying, and I did that, like stuff like that.
Right.
But I've never really been interested in modeling. But I did it because someone said it helps you get comfortable in front of a camera and like knowing your angles or whatnot. And because you get exposed more, and that can get you into acting. So that's really why I got into modeling, was to get into acting faster. And then it's crazy because then later on I ended up doing, or at least now I'm doing more modeling than acting.
Yeah, it seems like because I had Edna on this show,
Ooh,
a
I love
few
her.
couple.
That's my ray of sunshine. I love her.
Oh, she's such a delight.
Yep.
Always a great person to talk to, be around, and
Yep.
such a just like you said, a ray of sunshine.
Hmm.
And always getting them degrees. Every time I see her, I said, "You got any degrees since the last time I seen you?" She goes, "No, working on
Yeah, I was
this
about
one now." I'm like,
to say she getting up, she getting this one right now.
so I can't be mad at it. I'm not
Hmm.
mad at it at all. But one of the things that she told me was kind of the same thing, was she didn't really like want to model, but just utilized it as a stepping stone, because
Yeah.
she's phenomenal as well in all that she does. You know,
Everything she does.
she like the fur, the poetry and just everything. It's all there.
Yep.
It's all there. So when you're preparing for a normal shoot, just you're gonna be, because I was looking, you be the modeling, be modeling. Let me put it to you that way.
Thank
You be
you.
you be doing your thing. I can't lie.
Thank you.
I've been watching you and Trip. He better not come up in here and hit me. He always does that when I be on. He hits me. He gets me every time. Like one time he did it right, and I seen him pop up, and I went like this, so I couldn't see it.
Bro,
He
I'm telling, he will
he
literally randomly text me with a picture, just,
Yeah.
and he'll get me every time.
Well, what's worse was when he got me right. I was like, yeah, I got you, bro. You ain't gonna get me. He
Hmm.
Facebook messaged me. Boom. I'm like, I'm like, I said I hate you.
Yeah, I swear I text the same thing. As soon as he texts this, I'd be like, I hate you so bad.
Oh, he
So
oh
bad.
he got me the other day. He got me on Facebook Messenger, so I went over to Instagram. He just laughed.
Exactly. I feel like I'm that person that bids my time. I wait. I wait patiently for that perfect moment because nobody expects it from me because I'm not that type of person that just randomly,
Yeah,
trying to meet somebody. So nobody expects it from me. So I wait and I bide my time. And then I just got to get you with that perfect one. Like I set it up perfectly. You fell for it perfectly.
yeah.
Yeah.
One time, the first time I got him, it was like a celebration. We were at Happy Tree, and he was just looking in
Mhm.
that direction. I walked by, and he went. I was like,
Yep.
yes, I got him.
You gotta write the date down in your notes. Like today, I
Yeah,
got him.
I got him.
Today he was mine.
That's it.
Yep.
But I've been watching what you guys do. So when you're preparing for a typical shoot, whatever it's going to be, one outfit, multiple poses, multiple outfits. What are some of the things you do to prepare for that kind of shoot?
Well, first I take a shower and shave.
I like the
First I
hope
take a
so.
shower and I shave, and then um, I make sure I have everything that whoever I'm doing the event with or whoever I'm taking pictures for. If they ask me to bring something, I make sure I have those things. Unfortunately for me, because my time management is poor and I have ADHD, that usually happens like the morning of, or I'm scrambling the night before to get those things together. Like if they tell me to bring a certain pair of heels or they tell me to bring like jeans or whatever, I'm packing that in a bag
Yeah,
and then double checking to make sure I know where I'm going and how long it'll get there. Because, like I said, time management could be a thing on my end.
yeah.
So yeah.
So it can be a tough thing. So
Mhm.
how is a normal shoot like that? Like different. How's
Yeah.
that different from like doing a runway show? So like if and what I mean when I say runway is you're gonna be like I seen some pictures just earlier. I think you had an afro. You were wearing you weren't wearing much, but
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think you know which one I'm talking about.
I know. Yeah, that was my first New York Fashion Week show. I'm pretty sure.
So what's the difference in preparing for a shoot like that versus a runway or where you're gonna have to wear multiple outfits. You go walk, do what you gotta do, go back, and then they're like, okay, you got 4 minutes to get into the next outfit and get back out there.
I'm so glad you asked this question because the very first thing you would think of, the very first thing you it's hygiene because you know you're going to be changing into a whole bunch of different clothes. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people know this, but for the most part, you give those clothes back. Like it's been very few times where like I've modeled something and then like I've gotten to keep it. So you give those clothes back. So hygiene is always first. And then hmm, actually preparing is pretty much mostly the same. I make sure I have whatever anything any designer told me to bring, or if I need like shoes, I smoke. Yeah, shoot. Mhm.
And I can see I see. So when you do those kinds of shows, what kind of rehearsal is required? Because there's especially like okay, I'm gonna use White Chicks as an example, right?
Uh-huh.
You remember the end when they did the show, right?
Yeah.
And they come in from both sides. They kind of look at each other, and then they know their points and their cues, and then how to walk. Like
Hmm.
it kind of explain that process when you have to do something like that. Because when it's just you, you're going to be walking down. That's one thing, but
Yeah.
if you're walking down with someone else, that's a whole nother thing, and you have to depend on them as much as they have to depend on you to make sure it goes right without a hitch.
Honestly, Sometimes the rehearsals are like the best part of a show,
Really?
especially yeah, because most of the time, now I have had like a couple, like less than the fingers on my hand experiences of like people who have like attitudes or like are stuck up or things like that. But for the most part, 98% of the time, the people I'm meeting at all the shows are really like creative people. They're goofy. They're fun. They're pretty much like just like you, just trying to like chill. So honestly, the rehearsals are the best part.
Okay.
And usually, what a rehearsal for a fashion show will look like is you're wearing whatever you had on when you came to the rehearsal, but you have on heels and you'll practice whatever kind of walk that they'll be doing so that you know where to stop, how long to stop, where to look, like where the cameras will be. If you're walking with someone else, if you know who you're walking with, it's about matching pace, especially for me because I'm short. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm walking with someone taller, it's about like matching pace. And if you have to turn a corner, making sure that you guys are like uniform and one is not like in front of the other, or if you have to do any type of like crisscross thing, that's pretty much what rehearsals for a fashion show are. And then usually right before a fashion show is when you practice with like the clothes, or sometimes I've been like in fashion shows where I didn't wear the clothes until right before I walked on. So I practiced, but not in the clothes. I practiced in whatever clothes I had on, and you just practice in
Well,
heels.
Trip is here. So I know.
That was for him specifically.
I hit him first.
But yeah. Yep. He already know.
So okay, so that makes a lot of sense in
Hmm.
that regard. So are there times where there is special court? He laughed and did it again and said bye. Uh, love you, bro. And so is there times where there is that kind of choreography where you definitely have to crisscross or do this and that, and
Mhm.
is there does it come with any extra layers of stress, like, or is it just become natural after a while?
For me personally, no. It's it's not stressful because it's just walking
Right.
in heels, mind you. But like you just have to remember where to walk and where to stop. So for me personally, that's not too stressful.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So of all the shoots and all the shows you've done, do you have a favorite one?
Yes, I did a sustainable fashion show in an apple orchard. So
Hmm.
all the clothes that were made by the designers were like used like recycled couch fabric or like a recycled fabric from like an old suitcase, or someone had a dress made of old ballet slippers and it was like pink and like pretty and flowy. And then the fashion show itself was in an apple orchard, so like the people watching were on blankets in between the trees, and then at the end of each row would be like chairs with the photographers and all of that, and there was no music. So it was the
Oh
most.
wow.
No, none. And it was at like toward like when the sunset was happening. So it's like we're modeling clothes walking through, I mean clothes made sustainably, walking through an orchard with no music. So it was like the most intimate fashion show I've ever done. Cause you can
Wow.
hear everything. Like you're passing people hearing them talk about you.
Yeah.
Whether it
Like
was good or
you.
bad, you heard it. I didn't hear any bad, but that had to have been my favorite fashion show that I've done so far.
Oh wow.
And I met a lot of really really cool people too.
Man, that's unique. You don't really hear of ones without music,
Yeah.
and then you're hearing the cameras click, and you're hearing the audience
Mhm.
and the people watching, like, oh, she's good, oh, she's not good, this and that. So
Mhm.
that's definitely really a cool thing. I would want to see something like that because that's just different.
I hope they invite me to the next one because it was cool.
It,
And I like doing things that are like promoting something that I would stand for alone, which is
absolutely.
sustainability and recycling.
So earlier I used the word choreography
See.
because I want to transition into the dancing.
Mhm.
Dancing takes much more choreography.
Mhm.
It's very important. What do you consider to be the most important traits of a dancer?
Hmm. Personality for sure, because
Okay.
you can watch a dancer that has been training forever and they have like perfect technique and all of this, but like if they're doing all of this perfect technique and things on a stage, but they look boring, like they're not smiling, they're not making faces, they're not like being relatable, they're not, things like that. I feel like that definitely shows. Like when I perform, I try to like show my personality a little bit, and like, I'm like faces and stuff, because I feel like even you might, when you're watching a performance, you might not watch the best dancer because you're gonna watch the dancer that's the most entertaining, the one that looks like they want to be there and that they're having fun. So I
Right.
feel like that's important. Memory is important because I should have said that first. Actually, memory is important because you have to, if you're doing a choreography and not freestyling, you have to remember the choreography, or else you're gonna look crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So that's important. And probably the ability to just to be yourself on a stage.
Yeah.
Because that can be really stressful for a lot of people. It could be really nerve wracking, like thinking that these people are judging you or like whatever's going on.
You kind of have to be, kind of like free of all that
Yeah.
and
You have to
say,
be really present and really absent at the same time. You have
yes,
to be present enough to like be in the moment, do the choreography, what you're supposed to do, but you have to be absent minded enough to do it like from the joy of your heart, I feel like.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I meant to say this before, but I don't know if you've ever watched this show, but apparently I like to make people mad. Um,
You
I took an
could try it with me. You can try. It takes a lot to get me mad.
I I'm going to take an assumption that you're a big R&B fan. Um, so I have this game called Honest Picks, and I put
Okay.
two people together, and
Hmm.
you pick between the two. There's three categories for you this evening. It's male R&B, female R&B, and R&B groups.
Okay.
Some people do real good in this game. They kind of just flow through it. It's easy. Some
Uh huh.
people are really stressed out. Like I had Hood Soul on here like 3 weeks ago, and I asked him like a generic one, and his head was ready to explode.
Because ooh, if you put two good ones against each other,
Yeah, it's tough. It's
get
tough.
the heart
So
beating fast. Like, oh man,
so you want to start with female, male, or the groups?
it don't matter to me. I'm ready.
All right. So I'm gonna start with the groups. There's the least amount of those. So Jagged Edge or 112.
Hold on, because let me remember. Name the most popular song from both.
Uh,
Sometimes I'll know a song and I won't remember who sang it.
Jagged Edge was like Promise. They did Where the Party At. I Just Want to Get Married. 112 had Only You, Cupid, Peaches and Cream. It's Over Now.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with Jagged Edge on this one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Let's Get Married's gonna get him every time. I just did that at karaoke not that long ago. So even if I had to pick that one.
Earth, Wind, and Fire or The Temptations?
Mm. Ooh. Because as soon as you start Earth, Wind, and Fire, I was like, ah, yeah. That because that I'm gonna have to say Earth, Wind, and Fire because they're gonna get me with that every time. I'm gonna
All
choose that
right.
song over a lot of songs every time.
Boys the Men or New Edition?
Oh, New Edition. I'm biased. I'm a New Edition fan.
Really, Trip? Really?
I'm a New Edition fan. I'm picking them almost 90, at least 90% of the time. I'm picking New Edition over everybody.
Sometimes, listen, there's certain artists you just it don't matter. It don't matter.
They got your heart. You
You could
know,
you
they,
could
they
put.
got your heart.
He even said that's a hard one.
Yeah, because it is. But I
TLC
don't care who you say. A New Edition and who. I'm gonna pick New Edition.
didn't matter who it was.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
TLC or In Vogue,
TLC.
Jodeci or Tony.
Jodeci. Only because I know more of their songs than I do of 2020 song.
Drew Hill or Mint Condition.
Huh. I go with Drew Hill. Drew Hill.
High Five.
She gonna make me sweat. I'm gonna need my fan.
High Five or Guy.
I don't know who either of those people are. Or groups. People, groups.
You don't know High Five. They did that song. Oh my gosh, it's on like the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. They did that song. I love. It goes. I like the way
Oh,
you
I
kiss
love that
me
song
when you're
too.
playing the kissing game. She does,
Oh, that's my
and
song
then
too.
she's playing Hard to Get was them.
Okay.
Um,
And
and
then what
then
about the
Guy.
other one?
Trying to think of it. I'm like when you like know the songs, but you just like don't know what would stand out. I'm just trying to see what would stand out to you.
For me, a lot is I'll know a song and I could not tell you who sang it. Or I couldn't tell you who rapped it. That's my flaw when it comes to music. I could know the song, I could sing it and everything, could rap it to you word for word, but don't
But you
ask me
just
who sang it or who rapped it because I don't know.
oh they did this song. Remember the song I like?
Oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah. Groove Me. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah,
Sometimes
that's
it's
my.
like
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, why would you do that to me?
because I'm messed up, I guess. Let me tell you, I had Raya on here, and I seen her last week at the open mic night, and I
Yes,
forget,
and I missed it.
huh? You? Oh yeah, it was a
No.
good time. And
Mm-hmm.
I forget who I was talking to outside, and then she goes, "I don't like him," and I was like, "Damn, what I do? We was just friends
Right.
on the show." She goes, "Oh no, I got love for you. I don't like what you did to me on that show."
Uh, for this one,
Said touche.
I might have to jump on her side. I might have to have her on this one. I'll be like,
I
yeah,
mean,
he
you
did it.
if you're not sure, you could pick both or neither.
I'll pick both, but
All right.
I'll only give myself that one time to say both.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hopefully, some of these are hard then.
Okay.
H Town or Soul for Real?
So for real,
Candy Rain.
yeah, that was
My,
it for me. I didn't even know. I didn't have to know what H Town sang. I know that So for real sings Candy Rain, and I know that song will get me every time. Dancing,
even over
singing,
not
don't
even
matter.
over
That song come
e-
on.
even over knocking the boots.
Somebody knocking on
Yeah,
boots.
yeah. That's H Town. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it over that. I'm sorry. I'm picking over that. See,
Spinners.
see, I know that song. Couldn't tell you who sang it though. You said H Town. I'm like, I'm like, who was that?
Listen, music is broad. It's a lot to like. Sometimes I even like say, I gotta kind of like look to verify.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Spinners or the Gap Band?
Please elaborate, cause these are
Spinners.
new to me.
Whenever you call me, I'll be there.
Okay,
Whenever you need me, and then Gap
I know that
Band.
song.
Like once again, let me just see if get a song here that. Oh, yearning for your love. This song. Go a little further. Yeah.
I don't know this, but I can jiggy with it.
That was their.
I was about
That
to
was
start
like their
playing
big hit. She said, I don't know it, but I get jiggy with it.
out of those two. I like the guitar that was in that second song. I love a song that has a good like instrument in it.
Okay.
Saxophone is my favorite. If a song has a saxophone in it, done.
Oh, you're sold. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You
I need
sold.
to start playing my saxophone. I have the most beautiful purple and gold saxophone, and I don't use it. My
Ugh,
saxophone broke.
jeez.
Yeah,
Ugh, it's rough. Playing an instrument's not easy either.
it's not. I
It's
like
not for me.
self-taught myself to play songs on the piano, the guitar, and then my saxophone.
Jeez.
It's fun.
Jeez. Man, I wish I had the patience. My dad tried to teach me guitar when I was younger. I just didn't have the patience to
Mm.
really learn. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of patience, and then if you ain't gonna get it right away, like
Yeah,
it takes
it takes
time.
practice to learn anything.
All right.
I've honestly been. I feel like I've been blessed because like most of the things I want to learn to do, I can be good at.
Yeah. Once you get an idea, you're like, okay, I can do this.
Hmm.
That's how it's done for
YouTube is
me.
free.
Listen, free education, right?
Uh huh. To an
Now
extent. Uh huh.
I'm gonna slide into the male category. Hopefully, this is the easy one to start. The weekend.
Don't wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, you did group
What?
first.
I did groups
Okay.
first. Yeah,
Because I was like, wait, but there's men and women in both of those. Okay.
yeah. I did
Got
groups all
you.
together.
Got
So
you.
this one, okay.
This is gonna be sad.
The
I'm telling you, I
weekend,
know a lot more songs than I do people.
the weekend, or Bryson Tiller.
God damn it. Uh, uh whew. I want to say the weekend because the feel good, like I like upbeat feel good music, and I feel it coming playing in the background in one of my tabs that are open right now since you said it. But then Bryson Tiller be real, cause he the one that's oh that's wait I think I'm thinking of Brian Fias. Yep, I choose the weekend.
Yeah, Brian Fias and Bryson Tiller, they're pretty close.
Yeah, I was thinking you told me I could trust you ooh in my head, and I was like wait
No, wait.
that's I was like that's not him. If that was a song, it would have been a little bit more of an even playing field for me. But for this, I'm gonna
What?
say the
Joe or Babyface?
weekend. Babyface.
Genuine or Keith Sweat?
Whew, Keith Sweat.
Nobody.
That's exactly what I was about to start singing. That would have had me too.
Curtis Mayfield or
Looking
Donny
at
Hathaway?
you like me. You said who?
Curtis Mayfield or Donny Hathaway?
These people are who? What do they sing?
Donny Hathaway was the closer I get to
Oh
you.
my
That
god!
that's
Every
Donny
time
Hathaway.
I think of that, I think of Rush Hour. I think of
Oh,
his
Rush
cousin.
Hour too.
Yeah. The closer I get to you. The Jackie Chan was like, what?
Over and
He said,
over again.
I try to
I
tell
said
myself
myself.
that. Yes, I think about that. Oh, okay. And the other guy sings what?
The "You're So Good to Me" is probably the big one.
Should always be you for me. The first one. The
Yeah,
first
that
one.
the first time I heard that, I started scratching my head. I was like, when I started listening to like really older music, and I was like, oh, okay, Mary, because "Be Happy" was sampled from that beat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm starting to understand music a little more.
Just a little bit.
Usher or Neo?
God damn it. God damn it. Why would you do that? Hold on. Now I see why you make people mad. Why would you even do that to me? Why would you even try some shit? Okay. Sexy love. Okay, I'm thinking. There's one of Usher's songs right now that has me in a chokehold. That's making me lean towards him. And like when people ask me about this song, you know, like when food is just so good that people say like, "Oh, they stuck their foot in it."
Yeah.
All right, so this song is like cracked to my ears, so I say he stuck the tip of his dick in it. And I feel
Well,
like for that reason,
okay.
I might pick Usher for this one.
Okay. Okay.
Song is one of them ones. That song has me in a chokehold right now, up against the wall like this.
Like just
Like
end it
this.
all. It's worth it. And
Yeah, yeah. I'm
end
gonna
it
pick Usher.
all.
I'm going with Usher.
All right, these two might get you because these two dudes is old. Isaac Hayes or Barry White.
Say that one more time.
Isaac Hayes or Barry White.
Barry White. I feel like I know what he sings. Isaac Hayes sings.
They're kind of like similar, you know, because they got a deep, specific voice.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, Isaac Hayes is that song, My Everything. Dun it, dun it, dun
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. And
it.
I feel like okay, Barry White. What's his most famous song?
Barry White. Hold on,
Because
let me.
I'm thinking this song. I don't feel like it's him. I'm thinking that you'll never find brum 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 a hairline like mine. Like I'm thinking that. I know that's not the words,
Why is
but I'm
my phone's acting crazy? It's like not letting me find Barry White. Like it's just like no,
ooh.
no. Like my
Is it
Apple.
the Mandela effect? Did they erase him from history?
You know, like maybe Apple Music's just acting weird. Let's see if Spotify's a little better.
Okay.
Yeah, Spotify is nice. Oh, this song. She's not right.
Yep, him, him, ha, him. That's my. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
My
That one right
thing.
there. I was about to say what? Yeah, yep. Barry White. I already knew that was my pick from jump. I just wanted to see. I
Just
just wanted to make sure.
confirming.
I had to confirm.
Now,
Yeah.
the next one is two of my favorite. Like in my personal top five,
So
these
this
two
was
guys.
personal for
This
you.
one's personal, and it's
I.
to me. So this one, I can't even pick between these two. So I'm gonna
All
get
right.
attached to it.
All right.
Donnell Jones or Music Soul Child.
Who? These are names I know. These are songs I know. You're an asshole. Hmm. Ooh. Wow, 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 wow. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. Uh, uh, music social. Yep, yep. Let me go ahead and fish that in and reel it back. Yep,
Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles?
Stevie Wonder,
R. Kelly or Chris Brown?
Chris Brown.
All right. I got one more, but I
Okay,
always save that one for last. So I'm gonna go to the females now.
all right.
Erica Badu or Jill Scott?
Erica Badu,
Janet Jackson or Anita Baker?
Anita Baker.
Brandy or Monica?
Damn,
She's like, it's going good.
damn. Monica,
Aaliyah or
Beyonce.
Diana Ross or
I'm gonna make
Patti
some
LaBelle?
people mad with that one. I'm picking Beyonce though.
No,
Sticking with it.
listen. When I had Ralph on here, I purposely put Aaliyah with Beyonce,
Uh huh.
and he was As soon as he knew, I was like, I kind of know what you're gonna pick. He goes, Destiny's Child, Beyonce, whatever. And then I said Aaliyah, and he goes, oh, I gotta think.
In terms of like, I feel like I'm thinking about it in terms of what I bump more in my regular, and I'm thinking it's Beyonce. So yeah,
Diana Ross or Patti LaBelle?
Patty. Wait, Diana Ross, it just made me think of the Wiz. She got that song home, and I
Oh
do
yeah.
like that. I sang that song at church one time.
Oh word.
I did. I did. Wait, I'm sorry. You said Diana Ross and who else?
Patti LaBelle.
Patty. Still with Patty.
Sade or Shaka Khan?
I've never really listened to either one of their music, but I'm gonna say Shaka Khan only because I've gotten compared to her so many times.
Ain't nobody. That's where it's at. Ain't nobody.
Oh, and I do like. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sade's a little more soothing. There must have been an angel by my side. Like yo, when I want
I
to just
remember her
relax.
music being like her voice was like really deep and beautiful and raspy,
Yes.
and then her music was like slow. That's what I remember about her music, but I never got into her music too bad. I've
Yeah. No.
heard Shaka Khan though, gotten compared to Shaka Khan, so I'm gonna pick that one.
Okay.
That one. I'm gonna pick her.
Mary J. Blige or Mariah Carey?
If they had a versus, it would go crazy.
Oh, it'd be lit.
Hmm. Are we basing this just on music?
This whole thing is subjective to personal opinion. There's no really standard for it. I do plan on tweaking this game between seasons and making it more difficult for the viewer,
Uh huh.
and or well for the guest.
You know, damn it. I'm gonna go with Mariah.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Mariah. I don't
last
feel good about it. It don't feel good in my soul. But I'm gonna go with Mariah.
last two:
All right.
Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin.
Whitney. I'm gonna go Whitney.
And the last one,
Yeah.
everyone's personal favorite to hate:
Yeah.
Michael Jackson or Prince.
Michael.
And believe it or not, most people it's harder for them than I would think.
Nah. Human Nature is one of my top five songs
Oh,
ever. So. Yeah, and the SWV version is right up there too. So,
yeah, Chris Brown tried it, but it didn't have the same effect. I like the song, but
ooh, I do like that. I do like that song actually.
she ain't you.
Yeah.
She ain't.
Also, in terms of like impact and like this man has statues.
Oh yeah.
What other artist in this world has statues in Moscow? Like,
Well, not only that, like I have this one concert on DVD where it's in Bucharest, wherever that is. He comes out the floor,
oh, he
right?
just stands there and people are fainting, having
Yep,
to go
and
to
then
the
like
hospital.
yo, he just did like this. He was standing there like this for like 4 minutes. He went like this,
Bro,
and oh my god, everyone went like nuts, just dropping to the floor.
the amount of stardom you have to reach to come out of a floor. All right, coming out of a floor, that's it's top tier. Do your thing. But even if he just walked onto the stage and stood there, I feel like it would have been the same result. To reach that level of stardom, that's crazy. All you gotta do is stand there and people are fainting. People are losing
Stand,
their noggins. Their minds are being blown. Matas are being chopped. Bro, I don't even know.
just standing there,
That's a
nothing else.
mind-boggling amount of star power right there.
Like you're standing, chilling.
Chilling just with shades on. You can't even tell what you're looking at.
No, no, no clue.
He
No
literally
clue.
peering at everybody.
So he
Hearts are
definitely
being
had that
stopped.
power and that music, but Prince was the only guy who could wear heels and take your woman.
No, what I do respect about Prince is him speaking up and owning his own shit and not letting him get shit. I feel like I would have picked him for that.
Oh yeah, well, it's funny because Nas was on Drink Champs one time, and they were asking him, they were like, "Has anyone ever told you no to like a collab?" And he like had to think like hard, and he goes, "Yeah, Prince." And Prince asked him if he owns his own music, and he goes, "Nah, not all of it." He goes, "Well, I'm not gonna make music and someone else make money. That ain't you."
Yeah,
I can
that's the
respect him for
mindset
that.
you gotta have.
You gotta own your own stuff.
Yeah,
That's why.
because then what is the point otherwise?
I mean, you look at I look at Oswin. The reason, like people say to me when I talk about him, right? They're
Wait,
like,
I'm
"Well,
sorry. You said who? Oswald?
Oswin Benjamin from Newburgh."
Osborne. You said Oswald. I started thinking a little
No,
blue octopus.
no. Oswin
Uh
Benjamin.
huh.
So, people like say to me, like when I'm talking about him, like, "Oh, well, why isn't he with this or that?" I'm like, because he wants to own his music. He wants to have that music he makes be his. He doesn't want this person to have it, that person. You want it to be yours. A lot of times when they're doing these record deals and things, they utilize that as leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the artist might try and say, "All right, I'll give it to you for this or that." Nah, you hold on to that. That's yours. Because God forbid you are ever in a position where you do need to sell it for whatever reason, you don't have it. Why do you think R. Kelly's broke? He
It's
don't.
not even just that, but like if you don't own your stuff, people can do things with your art that you don't approve of. Like artists who are dead and then hearing, oh my god, hearing some of this beautiful music that drill artists are taking and then putting the most vulgar trash lyrics on top of. And I'm like, if that person was alive, would they agree to this? I don't know. But if I made music, I would want to own it because I would want somebody able to take my art and then turn it into something that people are probably going to remember more than my own art and then make it something crazy. Like, mm-mm.
Absolutely. But we are where we are, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a crazy,
flipping back,
that's a crazy industry to be in,
and it's
especially in these times.
cutthroat too. Very cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
Flipping back to the interview and the dancing. What is your favorite style of dance and why?
Hip hop, because with hip hop you can incorporate every other style of dance.
So you can do multiple things with it, unlike
Mhm.
other types of excuse me, unlike other types of music.
Yeah, with hip hop you can literally dance to one any type of music. You can do hip hop music, any type of music, and then two, you can incorporate different styles of dance into a hip hop choreography. Whereas, like sometimes with other dances, I feel like people are starting to incorporate more, like I guess hip hop into other dances, but a lot of other dances are more like they're structural, and they're like you have to have like a technique, and
Hmm.
it's kind of frowned upon to put more like a beat hip hop stuff to it. Like it would be hard to put like a hip hop moves into like a ballet where people are like on point in slippers,
Yeah.
rather than put ballet moves into a hip hop dance. So
Okay. You feel
yeah,
like you have more freedom because
yeah,
if you do ballet or even if you're doing tap dancing or stepping,
mhm,
you're very subjective. Even though with step dancing, you can incorporate hip hop because they're kind of on the same track, but they're not.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like you would understand more than me, but I think I'm on the right path.
You are.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
so
We're hiking up the same hill.
we're getting there. We're here. We're
Yep.
getting there.
Yep.
So when you just kind of like dancing kind of where you have the freedom of range, and
Hmm.
then if you're doing this or that, you could say, okay, maybe we could try this, try that, because you have
Yeah.
everything open to you
You have that
versus
range to pull from anywhere. Like
yeah,
you could be making a hip hop dance and you could pull from like Indian dance moves or like you can pull from ballet, you can pull from like contemporary, you can pull from like African dance, you can pull from anywhere to make hip hop because I feel like hip hop is already like a mixture of a whole bunch of different things.
absolutely, absolutely. So when you're rehearsing for dances, what is, because you said with the modeling rehearsals kind of the easy part.
Hmm.
Obviously, dancing rehearsal, and I've seen Ralph when he goes live with his rehearsals, and they're
Hmm.
very what's the word I'm looking for? Not in
On
depth.
point.
They're on point. Yes, yes, on point. But there's a word I'm looking for. They're very detailed, very
Yeah,
detailed, and I don't think that's just him. That's just dancing in general. He's just gonna be a little more up. If you need to be here, Ralph's gonna be here.
I
Like
actually feel like Ralph's standard for detail is like the regular standard. Most of the time I feel like people are toning down that standard for people. I feel like the way he teaches is pretty standard. It's do this move right. I'm going to tell you if you're doing it wrong so that you can look good so that you can feel good when you're doing it. Whereas some people will I don't you know what? What's crazy? I used to watch like dance moms, and people always get on like Abby Lee for the way she teaches, and I'm like, I would rather someone tell me I'm doing something wrong because they want me to do better rather than someone that lets me do something wrong and look crazy, rather than just saying like or ignoring my feelings for 1 second to be like, you're doing that wrong. Do it this way.
yeah, and
So yeah.
it can be such the simplest thing, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And that's with anything. Like me at work when I'm in the warehouse and I got to build the pallets.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll get to a point where like I'm having an issue with a pallet. Someone will come over and just turn one box and it changes the whole pallet. And
Yep.
I'm like, just one turn, just flip it this way to on its side, and they're like,
Yep.
yeah, you know. And I feel like a lot of
It's
times,
perspective. It's
yeah,
perspective.
exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when looking at that, sometimes people aren't willing to tell people what they're doing wrong because of how they could react.
Absolutely.
Be like, you could be like, oh, what are you trying to say? I suck, or oh, I don't know how to dance, or oh, like not that you would go overboard, but anyone, could take offense. People are sensitive,
What
you
I
know.
yeah, what I see most often is people being sensitive. Like if they're told they're doing something wrong, it makes them sad, so like they want to cry.
Yeah,
And like if I'm teaching somebody and it's not like a fun like a do it wrong as long as you feel good and you know if it's not like one of those, it's one of those like I actually do need you to look the same as everyone else, and I need you to do it on time, and I need your arm to be here and not here, and I need you to be here and not here. Like when it's something like that, sometimes you honestly just gotta ignore people feeling sometimes. I'm not even gonna hold you. It sounds bad, but yeah, you gotta just say it. Because sometimes you can sugarcoat things with people and they'll still be extremely sensitive, or you can say it bluntly and they'll be sensitive. So if you're gonna
right.
say it one way or the other, me personally, I always try the soft way first. I'm like, oh, this is good. Just put your foot here. Just put your foot here instead of here. Or like, you look great. Just when you're doing this, put your arm here so that it makes a shape or like something like that. But sometimes people are just more sensitive than you are. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can say it softly and they'll be sensitive. You can say it regularly, they'll be sensitive. You can say it bluntly, they'll be sensitive. At that point, you just got to say it, however, it's going to come out.
And that's what's gonna be.
And that's what it's going to be. Why did you take, like, pay or not pay to take my instruction if you were going to be sensitive about my instruction?
And the thing is, and this is just a life thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a mother,
Mm-hmm.
and you understand maybe not the same degree of what I'm going to say because everyone raises their kids differently and tries to do things differently. But me,
Yeah.
since my children were babies, I've been blunt with them, and people would say to me like Brenda was 2, and I would kind of chastise her heavily, and but be honest with her. And people be like, "Oh, she's a kid. You can't do that." But now, when you look at it, you go out somewhere. My kids are the 3 most youngest, respectful little ladies.
Mhm.
They know how to listen to instruction. They know how to not get out of line. They know
Mhm.
what to say, what not to say, and it's all about teaching from a young age
Yeah.
of of the realities of life, while still not robbing them of a childhood.
Exactly.
So that's the gray area. So like now they do something wrong, and now people want to protect them. And I tell my parents they're the main source. I was like, stop protecting them. If they got in trouble, let them get in trouble.
Honestly, kids
They,
that are too protected with taking accountability become adults that don't want to or don't know how to take accountability. I feel
right,
like a lot of because I like to extrapolate. I you can see like when you're growing up and experiencing adults, the traits that a little kid has that if aren't if they aren't like nipped in the bud that will lead to those traits that you've seen in adults. So like
right.
for example, if I see a kid that's like he's growing up and he or she is not being taught to feel like their emotions are valid, but to not always feel like their reactions are
Mm-hmm.
valid, grow up into adults that feel like these big ass reactions are valid for these small behind situations. And I'm never saying that everybody's feelings are valid. You felt it, it's valid.
Right.
But how you responded to it and how you went about that feeling can is not always valid.
Exactly.
And I feel like if you don't teach a kid that, then they're gonna grow up and be an adult that's way bigger of a problem.
Than anything else.
Yeah, that's like if you don't teach a dog not to bite as a puppy, they're gonna be a really big problem when they get
Ah,
an adult and those kids are,
Rick,
yeah, around everything.
you and me having some big time lawsuits on your hands.
Exactly.
So when you're in the dancing and you're really about to do a show for a set, what is the preparation like for that? Is it the same as the modeling? Is it different? Like I know it's more interactive,
Slightly
obviously.
different.
You know,
You got to go over the dance, obviously.
right?
So I'm like going over dances right like before I go on stage or whatever, and then I have to pee because when I get nervous, I always have to pee. So I usually pee beforehand and drinking water because being dehydrated when you're about to perform is not where you want to be.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
okay.
Actually, speaking of using the bathroom, I have to do that really quick.
Yep,
Be
go
right
ahead.
back.
No problem. Do your thing. Well, thank anyone watching or who's been in here. Appreciate you. She went to do her thing real quick. Hope everyone's having a good night, enjoying their night, having a good week. Wait for her to come back and we'll continue.
I feel like I lost a pound or two.
Don't worry, I would never hold you hostage from going to the bathroom.
I would never let anybody do that to me.
Because I was watching Drink Champs with Alicia Keys one time, and she goes it was like they were like an hour and 20 in, and she's like, "Is this the end?" And he goes, "Oh no, I got more." He goes, "Well, damn, can I go to the bathroom? Y'all holding me hostage?" Like, And then he's like, yeah,
Yep.
let's let Alicia go to the bathroom real quick, you know.
Yep. That would be me. I'd be if I was on a podcast, it was more than an hour. I'd be like, I'm sorry, can I just, you know, pop a spot?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll pop a spot real quick.
Like just a little bit. Just gotta go. No,
Right.
do your thing.
Right.
Little intermission. So with with um with the dancing, did you have any inspirations?
Yes. For one, Chris Brown. I wanted to be in one of his videos so bad. I wanted to be one of Chris Brown's background dancers so bad. Still to this day,
Never say
I want to be
never.
so bad. Hmm?
Never say never.
Oh, I never will. Still trying to manifest and trying to reel it in. But yeah, Chris Brown. I used to watch America's Best Dance Crew when it was on.
That was a good show.
That was a good show. Like there were some dancers and some groups from that show that I followed. Like I kept up with, I became a fan. So like those people inspired me, and then like because like I got into performing, everybody that you see who sings or acts the dances at some point. I feel like
Yeah. Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta kind of take a role where
Hmm.
you might have to do things that aren't something you're used to.
Yeah.
So I say that to say what garnered your interest then originally, because you said you like to perform, utilize the modeling to get to acting.
Hmm.
But what garnered that interest of acting, like originally?
I'm not sure actually. I think it's just because like in my regular everyday life when I'm alone, I'm really animated. Like I'm really animated, and I love being like I like playing a character because I guess to be like really honest, I feel like I felt like more comfortable playing a character than I did like just being my regular self. Like
Okay,
for example, like my everyday walk, I feel like it's so awkward and I feel awkward walking just in my everyday life. But when I get on the stage for a fashion show and I'm walking, I feel like I know what's going on. I know what I'm supposed to look like. I could do the walk. Or like if I'm like just in my regular everyday life interacting socially, I feel so awkward all the time. Luckily for me, the way like I deal with my awkwardness comes off as like me being social. Now I'm really not. It's really just me being awkward. But yeah. So I feel like it was just liking to play a character and wanting to go on all these adventures because I said I like to read. So I would read a lot of like fiction books. And the only problem with reading too much when you're younger is that life can seem a little boring compared to your books. And so I felt like the only way to like live out like the adventures and stuff that I would read about in my books was acting them out. Acting.
so okay, so you kind of are able to translate that reading and
Hmm.
what you've seen in the books, you can foresee you doing, just acting out some of the stuff you see in those books.
Yeah. I actually got into science for that same reason. Both my passions that I have, I pretty much got into because of books. Because my other passion is science, and so I used to read like all these fiction books, like
Mhm.
magic and all these creatures, and I feel like the only thing close to magic in real life was animals and science.
Wow,
Hmm.
wow,
Animals are
okay.
the closest you can get to creatures. Learning about, if I told you there was a creature with like, it had like tentacles and three hearts and blue blood and a beak, what would you think of?
If it had tentacles and what?
Tentacles, three hearts, blue blood, and a beak.
I would think of a peacock.
Why? Why a peacock? If I said tentacles, a beak. Okay,
Wait,
I get everything else beside the tentacles. Actually,
I'm trying to think. Tentacles. Why am I not picturing what tentacles are? What has tentacles?
octopus.
Oh,
An octopus has
okay.
has blue blood, three hearts, a beak, and tentacles. But that sounds
Oh,
like something you would read about in a book, does it not?
it does. Octopuses have beaks?
They have a beak, yeah.
I never knew
You
that.
think all the tentacles, they can squeeze through any space that's bigger than their beak because they don't have bones. So anything, any space bigger than their beak, they can squeeze through. And they
Wow.
have blue blood, and they have three hearts. They're extremely intelligent. It sounds like describing it without knowing what it is sounds like I'm describing something from a book or like a movie.
Right,
So the
right.
closest
I
thing I got to science and magic was animals and nature.
hmm, learn something new every day. Shit. I did
You know,
not know. I didn't know any of
learn something new
that.
every day.
Like the beak thing got me. The tentacles, like I don't know. I just was. I don't know why. I don't know where I got the peacock from. Then
I was like, wait, I get the beat
thought about it
part.
too. Like, wait, hold up.
Right.
The so what? What was the process in acting? Because it's not something really. It's not always something that's natural.
Hmm.
Like, believe it or not, and this is gonna sound crazy. Brenda, my oldest, she's gonna be 13. Last, not last school year, but she's in 8th grade. When she was in 6th grade, they did the line. They did a play for the Lion King. She's a background dancer. Yeah, some
Oh, my
scenes.
niece just did that same thing at her school. They did the Lion King.
Oh, really?
She was a background dancer.
Yeah. And then last year they did this play called "It's Easy," about this girl who was bullied um, by a group of other girls. So it was based on like a real life events. She had like the second biggest role, and like she wanted to be a mean cheerleader, and like Brenda's like the sweetest girl. And then when she was up there, she made me really believe she was a mean cheerleader. Like I was just like, yo, like
The
Brenda.
best actors can make you believe in a character that's not even anything like their own personality.
Yeah, and I'm just like, everyone's like, oh, Brenda's got a mean streak. She don't do that to me because I
Uh
don't
huh.
let her. If you let her do that, she gonna do it. Like what you want me to do or say. And then this
Mm-hmm.
year she's doing Cinderella, and I've been telling her, you were a background dancer, you had the second like biggest role, get that role. She goes, I don't want to do Cinderella. So I told the teacher at the open house, because it's the same teacher for the chorus and the music. And I said, I don't care what Brenda tells you. She's to try out for Cinderella. She goes, okay.
Uh huh.
So for you, what was your process? Was there some natural? Did you take some classes? Did you see something? Like what was it for you that helped you pick up the acting portion of it?
To be quite honest, it was just acting in my everyday life. Just only because like I'm not like the type of person, I don't like when people see my negative emotions. So even if I don't feel good, I'll act like it.
Mm-hmm.
Or being raised in a family where like you can't look sad or like whatever and stuff like that, and like having to do things I didn't want to do or like stuff like that, just having to act like in my regular life pretty much helped. But my first acting class I took was in high school because my high school offered acting classes. And then after high school in college, I took acting classes, and then I would take some workshops if I could, like in the city or whatever. And that's fun. So yeah, I feel like no matter how old you get or whatever, if you're getting into acting, take classes. I want to take like a stage combat class. That sounds really fun. Where they teach you how,
Stage.
yeah, yeah, like teach you how to like fight with swords on stage or like on cameras
Oh
to
wow.
make it look real.
To make it
Yeah, yeah, so like stuff like that. Yeah,
that would be interesting. That'd be very interesting.
yeah. And then like before doing a part, if it was something that like I had to, because like some parts they're so much like your character. It doesn't feel like acting. It feels like you're going on a stage or in front of a camera. You're kind of just like
being who
remembering
you are.
lines, but exactly remembering the lines, but like playing them like in your own personality. For the ones where you have to be different than your personality, um, there's different methods that actors use for that. But like getting into character is something that I feel like the best actors do. It's like not like going in front of a camera acting like you're sad. It's being on the camera actually being sad and actually feeling that sadness. I feel like that's what people connect to. So that's also what I really like about like actors in movies. Like there's certain movies and like certain people that can play their part so well that it'll
Hmm.
like stay with you and it'll like teach you something or you'll really like feel it. You'll cry, like stuff like that. I want to do for other people.
It's interesting because there's some roles that people play stand out.
Yeah.
For me, one of those roles is Heath Ledger as the Joker in Batman.
Yeah, a lot of people reference that in acting classes.
Now, it unfortunately ultimately ended his life,
Hmm.
but what he went through to play that character, to psychologically, you just couldn't compare it,
Yeah,
right, to anything else.
some people play
It's kind of
and it really affects their mental health because they really get into it.
absolutely, and I mean, so you have that. That's one of them, right?
Hmm.
Listen, I don't care what anyone says. There was no one on this planet who could have played Ray Charles other than Jamie Foxx. Nobody.
Oh, he did that so good.
Like to the point where he glued his eyes
So
shut.
good.
He glued
Hmm.
his eyes shut to really get the sentiment of what it was like to be blind.
Yeah,
Wasn't
some
like
people do
just
stuff like that.
you know. So when you take people and you realize that they're stepping into a lane and they're doing what they can to fill those shoes and
Hmm.
really, really embody what that person is, that's something that no acting class can teach you. That's
Right.
something that no one can teach you. That's something within you that says, okay, I know my role. I have to play it and I have to make people believe that I'm really this person.
And you know how to like portray those certain emotions. There's certain actors that never went to any acting classes, like, and they like strived or not strived. They just like thrived anyway, just because they were just naturally that talented.
I mean, you look at it, and I mean, so I guess I'll just open the door to this. So, who are some of your inspirations on the screen? Who are some of the people that you see and you're like, they hit it, and maybe not every time, but most of the time.
Glad you asked that question. Johnny Depp is one, and
Okay,
Johnny Depp is one because he has so many like versatile characters. Like he plays so many different. Like he played a drug dealer. He played the what's his name, Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the
Pirate.
Caribbean. Like he played on like so many different roles and so many variety of roles that like he's one of my favorite. The same reason for Will Smith because they're like they have a variety of roles and they played each one of those roles well. Like they changed the actors that are like my favorite to me are the actors that like they change their mannerisms, they change like their voice, like they'll change like the slightest twitch in their lip, like something that they don't do in their regular everyday life, that character that they're playing does. So those two. Angelina Jolie, I love her. Let me see. There's some actors who I know like characters but I don't know their names. It's
It'd be
so
like that.
sad, but like I'll know like who they are when I see them. I won't know their names, but I have a lot that like oh who else from The Help. What's her name? Viola Davis,
Oh yeah,
because she plays every single role she plays. She plays, and she
you ever
don't.
watch?
Yeah, she takes a walk on every role that she
I
has.
know you've seen How to Get Away with Murder.
No, I haven't, and I've had someone tell me to watch it, and then I've seen snippets of it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get into it, and then I just still haven't.
But you got to be in the zone because like the way they set that show up is like the beginning of each season. You'll see the story,
Hmm.
but as the story goes on, they as the first half of the season goes, they're piecing a crime together.
Yeah.
When they go through its mid-season break, which was the ninth episode, the crime would come together, and you'd be like, "Oh!" And then by the end of the season, the whole story came together, and it would just keep growing. You gotta watch it when you get a moment.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to watch it because I've gotten it recommended to me like a couple times, and then every snippet I see of that show is so good.
Oh yeah, and it's just
Oh, now somebody just saying they'd watch it with me. Now I already got a partner.
there you go. Get it in. Get it in.
Hmm.
So, well, for me, I agree with Will Smith.
Yep.
Jamie Foxx is another one who can just do it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And you know who the other one is that no one ever gives the credit to?
Who?
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh no, give him his flowers. He got it.
That man
Mark Wahlberg is hilarious.
that man was a gangster in Four Brothers.
Will Ferrell too.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. Yeah, he's
Four
another.
Brothers was really good. I love that
But
show.
then
That movie.
then he was a goofball in Ted. like
He
you
just got
know,
the Transformers, the newer one where he played the dad.
yep,
He has a movie with Will Ferrell where they play some cops where he's like serious and funny at the same time. He's hilarious.
and then they have the movies, the Daddy's Homes movies too.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, I forgot about that, and now I want to
Yeah,
watch it. I'm gonna have to write that down.
yeah, yep. So those guys are the embodiment of acting because
Mhm.
they can do anything, and it's not a knock on Denzel, who's one of my favorites, or
I
Samuel L.
was just thinking about him. That's great. Literally in my head just now. I was thinking
See,
about Denzel.
see, I told you, Samuel L. Another one of my favorites.
Yes,
Um,
Bernie Mac,
oh gosh, I love me some Bernie.
R.I.P.
You
Yeah,
know, so
my
when
sister
you
was
when
just binge watching the Bernie Mac show.
Bernie Mac was oh man, he that show was good.
Hmm.
He was phenomenal.
In
You
that
know,
movie that he did, what was oh, it's such a good movie too. He did it with Samuel Jackson and Bernie Mac. It was Samuel Jackson, Bernie Mac, and somebody else, and they're
yeah.
like musicians that were in like a group.
Oh
Oh
Jesus,
my god, what is the
I've
name of the movie?
seen that movie too.
Oh, that
Soul
movie's so good.
Brothers,
What is it called?
Soul Brothers, or
Yeah,
Soul Men.
something like that.
Yeah, it's either Soul
That was a
Brothers or
good
Soul
movie.
Men, something like that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
So obviously you have really great inspirations. So how do you acquire the meaning to okay, if you have to do a certain scene and you have to show like a certain emotion, that's once again something, that's not exactly taught. But how do you kind of get into character to be able to do that, to portray that certain emotion, whether it's sadness, whether it's anger, whether it's I don't know if you've been asked to cry on the spot. I know that's one that many people cannot do.
Yeah.
Like Denzel did it in Glory with one tear. I don't know how he did it, but greatest thing, one of the greatest things I ever seen.
You know what's crazy? Because when I'm alone, I feel like I can get into a moment and make myself cry. It's harder in front of people because I've had to do that before for at acting class. But I feel like it's getting into and relating to whatever character you're playing. Like
Okay.
say like I guess I can't say it now because I am a mom, but like if I wasn't a mom and I had to play one, and like they just lost like their child or whatever, I feel like it's just getting into that moment and then putting your own life stuff with it. Like if you have
Yeah.
to cry, if you're not like attached to the moment that you have to cry in, then that's when like you bring your own inner sadness into it. And I feel like this is why also certain roles make actors have to check on their mental health because like you're pulling from also your own life experiences and stuff. Like if you have to be mad at something in a scene and maybe you're not actually you can't connect with the character for that anger, you're probably going to pull from something in the past that you didn't let yourself express that anger and now you can let that anger out. So
Yeah.
like I feel like it's stuff like that. Sadness is easy for me only because like I'm really empathetic. And if someone else is crying, I can very easily cry because like I'm just empathetic like that. Like sad things really hit me in the chest. I care too hard sometimes.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I realized that I feel like the hardest thing for me to act out is actually being happy. I feel like I'd be so much better acting out a sad or angry character than I would an extremely like bouncy
Yeah.
happy one, which is
Pharrell,
weird because I
are
am
you
kind of
happy?
bouncy and happy in my regular life, but I feel like that's it's harder for me to play happy than it is sad.
I mean, if you're a generally happy person, it's really, I wouldn't say hard to be happy, but it's just like
Hmm.
there's levels to it, right? Like
Exactly.
if it's sad, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we got to do this, do that, and it kind of comes together for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as I was kind of monitoring through your page, one of the things that you had
You were looking
a
at my
deep,
page.
yeah, I had to kind of do that, kind of, kind of had to be, had to be a journalist, journalistic.
Uh-huh.
I want you to talk to me about Ella's Jukebox
Oh
Cafe.
my
It
god. Oh my
seemed
god.
that seemed like the performance of performances,
And
and you
it
spoke.
was. That was one of the most intense plays I've ever done, rehearsal wise and performance wise.
Okay.
And it was also one of my most favorite performances. The people I met, amazing. The rehearsals were amazing. I had like it was tiring because like I was like working and going to school at the same time, and the rehearsals were till like 11 o'clock some days, and like it was a lot, but that had to have been one of the most fun performances I've ever done in my life, and I can't wait to do another one.
Man.
Hmm.
And you just really, it seemed like you really enjoyed that. Even the way you spoke about it and what she meant to you as just as an artist, because like your art form comes in many different forms,
Hmm.
like even like this podcast, it's a form of art.
Yeah.
Like you kind of I carry this with me where I go. My sports show, form of art. I'm a big wrestling fan. I have a wrestling podcast coming. That's a form of art.
Hmm.
You so we just it's just about learning our forms and really just embodying what they are.
Yep.
But I could see that one was a lot of fun for you.
And it was. I'll never forget that performance.
You know,
I think that's
so
when I was like, yeah, I want to do TV and plays.
of those three items, modeling, acting, and dancing, of the three, which one do you enjoy the most personally?
I'll say acting because acting incorporates all three.
So, if you had to pick one of those three, meaning you can only go down one lane, they put a contract in front of you for one, two, three.
Impossible.
You can impossible.
Because boom, boom, all of the three are intertwined, except
I did say
no, no,
that.
no, no. I was right. All three are intertwined. It's hardly you're gonna be doing one without the other. Because if you're modeling, that's kind of acting. Because what if you're modeling like a concept photo, like you're modeling someone drunk on a toilet, and you gotta like that's still
Oh,
acting.
it is.
And then if you have a dancing background, you're still using your body to position your body in like different positions and stuff. If you're dancing, if you're like a good entertainer, you're gonna be acting on stage. You could be playing a character when you're dancing. Like let's say everybody on like in the performance has on like nerdy outfits and they're playing characters like they're playing kids in school, like the nerds and the popular kids, and the popular kids are dancing to one song and the nerds are dancing to another one.
Yeah.
That's acting. And then people are going to be taking pictures of you while you're performing, so you have to make sure you're hitting those shapes in your dance, which is technically modeling. And if you're doing
Okay.
acting, it's the same thing. You're doing all three. You can be acting like Jennifer Lopez and Selena. If she wasn't already a singer, she's playing a singer, and she was dancing, doing that part, and modeling, doing that part. So all three are intertwined. So it's hardly ever that you're going to be doing one without the
Okay. Okay.
other.
You could say that. That's very true. Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, right?
Huh?
If it was like, okay, even though the three are together, what you would do all three from one lane. Which lane would you select as that full time lane if you could
Acting.
only acting? Now
Because
is that
yeah, you can
because
play
you
a whole bunch of
feel
different roles.
right? Because you get the most out of it. And let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the most lucrative of the three.
Yeah.
Would you know, someone wants to pay you $30 million to do a movie, you know?
Hey
I
me.
mean,
Hey me.
yeah, exactly. Give me that paper. Even though, I really just recently started understanding as I grow in what I'm doing and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, shit, like it's starting to get to a point where I'm gonna need like a team of people,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like, oh, you try to bear it because ultimately you gotta pay these people. Like, like and
You don't pay
I
them, they're
heard,
gonna take it.
huh?
I said, if you don't pay them, they're gonna take it.
And it's just like it's funny because I had one of my favorite rappers is Big Sean, and he has this song called "A Million Pieces." And what he's doing is he's comparing a million pieces of his life to just a million of other things. So like there's a part where he goes, I used to want to be a millionaire for a million reasons. Then I found out it came with that many leeches that want that many pieces. And you're like,
Uh,
whoa. And then he goes, lawyers. He goes, I forget how he says it. It's taxes, state taxes, lawyers, agents, managers, business managers, fees and damages, and then making sure no one is scamming us. And it's like, damn, like you don't really think about that.
people
So like, let's say
are
you make
selfish.
20,
People are greedy.
and let's say, and like Taraji said something that really hit. When people were talking about, when people talk about like, oh, artists or actors, people complaining, she really put it into a perspective that I can understand.
Uh
She
huh.
said, well, think about it like this. If I make $20 million, 6 million's gone on taxes. Throw it,
Yeah.
throw it away. So
Or
now,
it makes me so mad.
you down to like 14. And then once you pay everybody who's done their part in for you, you left with 5, 6 mil. Now, granted, that's a lot of money. But when you are talking about 20 million and
Yeah.
then being left with a quarter of that after
Yeah. Everybody
everything,
got to get some.
it's just like,
Well,
it,
see,
it- you know,
but that makes sense. Anybody that had a part in you becoming you or had a part in any performance, they should get paid. They did the work.
absolutely.
It's what you was talking about with the leeches. That's where you hit the nail right there. The
Mm-hmm.
people that should be paid get paid. Do your thing. You gonna be paid. But when I tell you, like, I've seen it firsthand, like in modeling, people that will like I don't know what the word is, but they'll like cozy up to certain people that they feel like have more clout, and then like people that are still building up their clout, they'll dismiss them, or they'll act like a completely different person around that person than they would around the person with clout.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. That's where you gotta like really have like your discernment on point, because some people they'll act like they're your friend, and then like you'll do like what they need you to do. Like, let's say, boom, perfect example, as a photographer, let's say like somebody invites you to an event, but they don't want to pay for you to be a photographer, but they want you to bring your camera. Or like someone that wants you to do something for them or show them love and they won't like give the same back. I see a lot of that and it's so crazy.
It's funny,
Sad.
but I'm going to save that for when we get to the photography portion because I got something there.
Uh-huh.
But I want to talk about Mavor.
Uh-huh.
Um, y'all, you know, I love this group of people as
I
you
love
are,
this group of people too.
as you are deeply enrooted with them. And I want to tell you a funny story actually. So I the guy I'm working with, we're actually also trying to put together a showcase in the area.
Oh sure.
But I need a good amount of artists for this company that I'm working with, All Right Entertainment, to put forth excuse me, put forth the capital for the showcase.
Mm-hmm.
So we start looking at different areas and different things, and he wants to make this thing real big, so he wants a big venue. Started with the Ritz Theater. We're like, oh, kind of like, he wants doesn't hold enough people.
Uh-huh.
You know, Lacey Ashley has that her space, Suit York, kind of right across from there, holds 225. That's what she told me when she was on the show. He's like, I don't know, man. So then I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, how big you want? Like, how many people you trying to get to this thing? He's got some other concept in his head that I won't get into. But I said, what
Uh-huh.
about theater in Middletown? He goes, bro, that holds 1,100 people. So he was hell bent. He would not budge on coming to Newburgh or having anything to do with Newburgh. First, I said, listen, I'm gonna show you one group. You and if you don't like this group, we don't have to do nothing with Newburgh.
Uh-huh.
But if you like this group, if you like this group, you like what you see, you open your mind. Okay.
Boom into the voice.
Send him the Family is Forever video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were on the phone and watching, and he like I screen shared it, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh my god. He's like, I love this. I love the family thing and the family layer. This is amazing. Then he just starts rambling all these ideas. He goes, Mike, you need to get him on the iHeart. And then honestly, we can market this and you can manage it. I'm like, whoa, 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 bro. You jumping way ahead. He goes, you
Savannah.
doing A.
Slow down.
He's like, you're doing A&R and this and that. I'm like, whoa, bro. I just showed you a video. So then I was like looking for the Black Expo from this year. I could not find it. Finally, I text Ralph. Ralph, where is the Black Expo video? I can't find it. And then he goes, you can't find it? I can't find it. The one from this year. Then he goes, 5 minutes later, he texts me back, oh, when I realized I never unlocked the video. So he had it on YouTube, but it was locked.
Yep.
So I showed him what you guys put together. I got to tell you, that was one of the most entertaining things I ever seen.
It was really fun and entertaining behind the scenes, I'll tell you that.
I heard it was a lot of fun. Nisi kind of said, she goes, yeah, we had a lot of fun, but it was a mess in a sense. She said it was fun but messy in a sense.
I feel like that's any production, low key.
Of
The
course,
stress
of
of getting
course,
it together, getting people together, getting your vision together, and then the fun of just doing it.
absolutely, and you guys did that. So how and how and when did you become part of the Mavors?
Oh shit, when did I start? It's been so long. I think the first thing I did, oh, it's really been so long, I can't even remember. The crazy part is that Ralph used to dance with my older sisters in school, and that's the crazy part. Um, but I think I joined in mm, high school, I want to say.
Okay,
And then I think I just got introduced because like I was ready, like to start like performing and like dancing outside of school. And Ralph, he's always having like dance classes and putting on like shows, and he'll do like events. So I think I just reached out at some point, and then we connected, and then I got him aboard, and then we all connected, and now I's here.
You yeah,
I's here.
you know, and what the beautiful thing is, and when I had Ralph on this show,
Hmm.
I explained to him, and I explained to him, Nisi and Jasmine specifically, is it's not a knock on anyone else in the whole family, but when you think of it, those are the three faces you see.
Yeah.
Those are the three people who are at the helm,
You know
if
what
you
I
will.
think it is, honestly? It's because they if they don't have the time, they make the time to put things out there.
Yes.
Like Ralph is doing like 1,000 things. At any given time, he has 1,000 things going on. But he makes the time to make those dance videos. He makes the time to make content. And he makes the time to, that's why he's known, because he puts in the time and the work to be known. And then, of
You know how
course,
you know how
the
long it
people
took
that
me
started
to
him
get him
on,
on this show?
huh?
You know how long it took me to get him on this show?
That's what he's busy. That's what I'm saying. I'll write Ralph.
What were you
And
gonna say
depending
before
on
that?
what the platform is, he'll get back to me within 2 or 3 business days. Can't get mad because I respond within 2 or 3 business days. It's real sad. But it's I feel like it just comes with like talking to people who are doing something. Because if you can write someone at any moment and they're always there, that's great. But like the people I know, like if they don't text back right away, it's because they're doing something, and a lot of the time it's something that's to either benefit them or benefit like their career, like whatever brand they want to put out there. So,
Listen,
but it is, man. I don't know. It is what it is.
like let me show you something. I show this every episode. Oh
I'll go. While you get up, I'm about to get my drinks. I'm thirsty.
yeah, do your thing. We ain't going nowhere, everyone. Audience, we'll be right back.
Oh, I wasn't going too far.
No, I wasn't either. So I've always, you know, anyone who knows me knows I was real close with Najee. And he's everywhere. He's right here. And when he passed away,
Hmm.
really struck a nerve, really hurt, but it made me realize that life's too short,
It is.
and that I needed to do something that was better than what I was doing. I was settling for just driving a truck and delivering soda. Yeah, I was making great money, but like, yo, I have more to offer to the world. So I created this as a start. This is my vision board
That's
for
a lot,
2020.
right?
Yeah, it is a lot. Some of it's quotes, but like I'm gonna start here.
Okay.
Right here it says security class. I did that. I just mailed out my license today.
Hmm.
Right here it says insurance license. I just have to take the test. Photography. I wanted to get my podcasting going. I wanted to do a clothing line. I'm in line to do that. I want to learn more about videography. You
Hmm.
know, I want to be a motivational speaker. I have a CDL. I have endorsements. I'm going to get some of these endorsements put on my license tomorrow. I got to go to DMV. So I really use this as leverage to really understand and
Have
go
like
back.
the goals in a place and like have like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've tapped into about 80% of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
my phone would have died on you in like 2 seconds. It's on
Oh,
1%. I didn't even realize it. I'm
wouldn't
like,
be the.
why did your voice just get low? I'm like, I can't hear anymore.
Uh-oh. It's not the first time it would have happened to me. It happened to me with Soleil. Last question, and the phone just said good night. Yep. There it goes, I think.
Appreciate everyone in here. Hopefully, it doesn't fully die. Yep. Well, I'm sure we'll get her back in here momentarily.
Oh my God, I found my possum titty.
But hope everyone's having a good night. Enjoying their night. I know it's a little long, but it happens sometimes. Not every episode's short. We just wait for her to come back in, and we'll just keep on ticking away here. Ooh. Yeah, all right. All right. There we go.
Bad, my phone's always
Nah,
dying.
it's all good. It's all good. You know, like I said, it happened to me and Solea once when she was on here. We were
Mhm.
talking, and then the phone just said, "Good night. I'm done." So,
Unfortunately, that happens to me a lot. To be honest, I need to go ahead and get a portable charger at this point. At this,
listen,
this point, like
you just got to do what you got to do.
exactly. And I'm not doing it, which is why my phone keep dying. My phone stay dead.
Be like, well, you know, the first real memory I have of you is when I like one of the first times I met you or seen you at an event, and then your phone died, and we thought she was missing for 4 days. I was just like, what the fuck do you mean she's missing? I just seen her yesterday. How is she missing? I seen her at Toe Street
Oh,
yesterday.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Like, yo,
Yeah,
there was an Amber Alert out for you. And then like a few days
oh,
later, you was like, my bad, yo, my phone died.
yep. I'm honestly, I'm good for it. I wish I wasn't, but I'm good for it. My phone stay dying.
She's just like,
And honestly,
my
matter of fact, I'm getting a portable charger. It's that time. It's that time.
good soul. What up, bro? You missed the honest pick segment, bro. I made her upset tonight.
You said who? Oh my, what's good,
Mod, yeah. Yeah, he was not good with the honest picks. He was upset.
I believe it
My
because
man was stressed.
you had me stressed. I think I have a gray hair now somewhere on my scalp. Somewhere on my scalp, there is a gray hair sitting lonely,
Oh
tired,
man.
sad. you
Absolutely. So he
said,
said,
yeah,
yeah,
they
that
had
shit
me.
had me. And the sad part is for him, we didn't even get through his whole interview, so he got to come back. So I got to do another round of those.
Get him with me. That's my guy.
Yeah, nah, it's my dude, dead ass. I stay with a couple crates in the beer now. Oh man. So, what are some of the best
Yeah.
things about Mavor, and how has Mavor helped you grow as an individual and as an artist?
Okay. One of the best things about them is the feeling of community for sure. Because even when we're not performing, like in the group chat, I'm honestly terrible at group chats. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I'm that person that I come in and out the group chat periodically. But like I always see the group chat and it's always like a support and like if anyone has anything going on, that's not like a Mavor thing, but like their own personal, like brand, like them performing with themselves and stuff like that. They'll will have like, and well, who's going to this person's event and can I ride with you and what time does this start? And it's like all of that. And I love that feeling of community because I love community in general. I feel like that's how the world should be. Everyone should be. It should be one community. So whenever I'm a part of a community of people that like really care about each other and like want to uplift each other, very grateful for it.
Absolutely.
And that's my boy. And also open my eyes to a lot of the different types of events and performances that there can be. Because I've done some performances with Mavor that I never thought I'd do. Like we did this one performance, and it was like for this art gala thing, and it was so much fun. And we did like a African tribute, and there was like other performers there. So like I get to meet other people from like wherever they come from, because I'm telling you, people come from everywhere, and that's one of the things I love most is the feeling of community, and then like the getting to experience and meet new people and experience different events and stuff. That for sure.
Okay. And so you're saying them helping you grow. The growth was more or less that they helped you do things that you wouldn't think you would have done.
Yeah, and also because like we were talking earlier about how like Ralph is really detailed in his like choreography and stuff. It also helped me become a better dancer and to be prepared for other things where people are more strict. Like the Ella's jukebox, the thing that you were talking about,
Yeah.
the choreographer was pretty strict. Like the person directing it was pretty strict about like be where you need to be. This move is that, not that. Like it was really like that, and I feel like being in before already helped me do like be able to take that kind of criticism and utilize it instead of like being sensitive about it.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Because Ralph ain't gonna put nothing out less than perfect. If it's
exactly.
if it's less than 100%, guess what? I don't care if it's 99.9, it ain't going out. It's just
You know what? No, that Ralph actually isn't like that. I mean, he is, but like one of the things he taught me is that like sometimes you do the best you can when it comes to like what you have, like quality or like
of course.
production or anything like that. And even if it's not 100% where you want it to be, because like sometimes I stop myself from putting things out because like I can be a perfectionist in my head, and if it doesn't come out exactly how I see it in my head, I won't put it out. And that's something I learned a little bit to like tone down on, even though Ralph is definitely like he wants to put out the most 100% quality thing that he can. If it isn't 100% the way he wants it, he know like chilling, like it's still okay. And that's something I had to learn because if I was waiting for everything to be perfect, I wouldn't put out anything
Yeah.
because I'm really, really. It probably doesn't come off, but I'm really, really particular about the things I do.
Yeah, it's really like that. I that's why like I prolonged doing this show so
Hmm.
long because I had it as an idea. I announced it like middle of last year and then never did it. And it
Uh-huh.
wasn't until um Jasmine's birthday open mic this year, January, -30 outside. Me and Nisi were outside talking.
Hold
And
on. Can we run that back real
uh,
quick? Did you did you just say -30?
oh, it was
Dude,
cold. No, it wasn't. It wasn't really -30. It was just cold.
my heart. I don't like the cold. That's why when you said that, it immediately stuck. I was like, wait a minute.
She said, "Wait a minute." She hit it with a pause. Like,
I had to
nah, bro.
pause that. What? It was how cold outside?
No, it wasn't really that cold. It was just like at that. It was just cold in general. Excuse me.
I fuck with that nonchalant back scratch. I missed that. That was the most nonchalant. Let me go ahead and
Just
get that up real quick I've ever seen in my life.
did you
Here for it.
notice the other two times I did it?
Maybe not. Because that was the
Oh,
first time I seen it and I really seen it and I was like, oh, getting in there.
so
Uh-huh.
yeah, then it is nonchalant because that was definitely the third time I scratched. He goes back. Where did you
He
get
said,
that
where did you
scratch?
get the scratch? Facts.
Oh
Repeat.
man. No, but I get. But it wasn't until I was talking to her. She goes, Mike, ain't gonna be perfect. You have to learn as you go. That's what
Yeah.
anything. Of course, you want it to be perfect, but it ain't. And Lord, it wasn't. It went off well, but I made mistakes along the way, and I started learning and learning, and I'm still learning and learning.
I
You
put out
know,
things that I wasn't 100% happy with. And then it's, oh my God. And the crazy part is, I could put out something that I'm like, ugh, I don't like that, or like
Cringe.
I'm like, I could have did better, and the other people love it. They're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that, and I'm like, it changes. I feel like that really is what like changed my perspective about like trying to be a perfectionist about what I put out, because like sometimes I'll put something out and I'll really be like, dang, like I really could have spent like another 2 hours doing this
Hmm.
or whatever. But yeah,
But you
greatness.
know, and then to you, people love it, and you're like, if I would have spent that 2 hours,
Exactly.
if I would have spent that 2 hours,
That's like the
what?
days when I go out and I feel like I look like a potato is the days that like I feel like I get the most compliments. And I'm like, I
Like,
look
oh, you look
like
nice today.
a spud. I look like a spud right now. I look like a fungus. I mean, a fungus, a potato, and you were complimenting me. I'm here for it though.
You're like, I feel all ugly and nasty, and you tell me I'm beautiful. Okay, whatever you see, I don't see it, but as long as you see it,
As long as you see it,
I'm
I'm
all
gonna fake it till
right.
I make it.
That, that's it. Oh man. So photography. It's funny because I randomly seen your post one day, like I want to start taking pictures. I'm gonna go buy here. And I seen you a week later and you had bought equipment.
Hmm.
So I obviously it was a love before. It seemed like to me you were doing it before, like this. So when did you start doing photography like originally? Because it's not something you just really, well, correction. It's not usually something people just pick up.
Uh-huh.
It's usually, you gotta have a love for it.
Well, I've always loved taking pictures and editing videos, like taking and editing pictures and videos, and I did it with my phone. And like personally, I feel like the pictures I was taking were coming out pretty nice. Like if you go up and down my Instagram, I took most of those pictures. So like, and I took most of them with my phone. I only just got my camera recently, so I was like, if I love like taking and editing pictures, and like I'm good at like taking pictures of other people and like editing or whatever, why not do that as like a side hustle? Because I can do something that I already like doing and make money doing it. And then like having getting to express like my creativity that way, and then helping others promote their brand, or like whatever it is they need me to take pictures for them for, or make a video for them for. So I'm getting into VFX video editing, which is really really fun. It's like adding like superpowers or like that green screen stuff into videos. So I want to do stuff like that too. But like
Okay.
for me, it was just because like I really like doing it. So I'm like, why not make money doing something I like?
Right. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because it's kind of like, I love taking pictures.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I mean, it's just fun. Sometimes I'll bring my camera to somewhere and say, yo, let me just take some pictures for you. Okay.
Yeah. That's what
You
I do
know,
now. If I get invited somewhere, I'll just take my camera just because, like, I'm like, if I feel like taking pictures today, I'll bring it. If not, I won't.
like I'm trying to, like I've always just had a thing. Like I did my first wedding last year and it
Hmm.
was, it was, it was, it was quite the event, like I really put together, I'm just trying to find it,
Hmm.
see if I can, I just really like enjoy just taking pictures and people kind of just say, oh, you should just do that. And it brings
Yeah.
me to the point you were making before, when people don't want to pay you for your work. They
Hmm.
kind of, so I have a friend and they're like, yo man, I need pictures taken. I'm like, okay. And then
Hmm.
he's like, you know, and he's like, I'm like, all right. He's like, how much? Now, one thing I've learned is you can't give photography a solid price if you don't have a studio.
Hmm.
If I have a studio and I know you're coming to my studio, and then I know you want this, this, and this, I can put a set price on this, this, and this. Because you're coming to
Hmm.
me. Only thing I got to do is drive from here, from my house to the studio. You come to me. I do the shoot. You pay me. You get your pictures. Everyone's happy.
Exactly. Everyone's happy.
Now with a wedding or an event, it's different because there's expenses that
Mm-hmm.
I have to incorporate now. So how far is it, right? So if it's an hour away, I got to incorporate gas,
Like
got
a
to
traffic fee.
incorporate tolls.
Yeah.
How many hours you gonna need me? So now, if I got to drive an hour, and then you need me for 8 hours, that's an automatic 10-hour day.
Yeah.
Then after the job is done, um, you know, I gotta, I gotta
Pack up.
spend
You
hours
gotta make sure you
edit,
got all your stuff.
right, and I gotta spend hours editing those photos.
Oh yeah. Not even depending. Editing pictures takes a minute. That's why
Yeah,
I said like that's something that's like kind of calming for me. Like just sitting down, listening to a book and editing pictures, or like listening to music and editing pictures. For me, it's just like finding the time.
right.
See, right
So
now, because I'm doing things for free, I'm all up for the users, like the people that just want to take pictures and not really like pay for a shoot. Because I'm doing it for free as of right now,
to build a
I have a
portfolio,
right with that. Like we both need the same thing. I need content, you need content. We're looking for the same thing. But like if you are a photographer that's charging people and people don't want to pay, or they're just like, hey, let's do this shoot and I'll just promote you, and it's like that's not the same as paying, because you could promote and nobody could book a shoot because you promoted.
right,
So it's like,
right. And so when so I looked at him and I'm like, bro. He was like, well, we're friends. I said, I understand that, but I gotta do business. Like I can't just let you cut my legs from under me.
yep,
You like that's bad business because if I charge you $700 to do an 8-hour job and then edit after that, that's
yeah,
highway robbery. And I was only asking him for 1,500 to do the job.
mm,
So that's the thing. Like I got another friend. He's getting married 2026. They're getting married in Lake George.
26.
2026.
Uh-huh.
Getting married in Lake George. So I'm like, well, I said that's an hour and a half, and and it's on a boat. I'm gonna be there overnight.
It's on a boat.
Yeah, they're getting married
Hold on,
on a boat.
hold on. Because me personally, I'm afraid of big water. So to get me on a boat, that's a fee right there. That's a fee. If you are trying to get me on a yacht, on a boat, on anything on the ocean, on the lake, on a big water, I'm charging a fee. I'm sorry. It's for my phobia. It's a phobia fee. At this point, I'm gonna charge a phobia fee. Anytime I gotta be on big water, I'd be like, I have thalassophobia. If I'm gonna be on big water, you're gonna have to pay me significantly, just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not something that's easy to do for everyone. I don't personally care, but now I got to travel an hour and 3 hours to drive. I gotta pay for tolls both ways. I said, I said I gotta pay positive. There's no the place that you're offering me to stay. I gotta pay for that.
Yeah,
So now,
you
so
want to
now
think about that.
food. So now, if you were doing a wedding here locally, I could charge you $2,000 and help you out. But
Uh
now,
huh.
I got to charge you like 4 to 5.
Yeah.
To cover the expense, to get the pictures edited.
Be like, I
And
had a
now,
hotel. That shit was took $200 a
yeah,
night.
yeah.
So if I charge 1,200, that's already like what 800 now. Like, come on.
And it's the same thing. Like now, I had Tommy, the DJ, on here last week, and he gave me the greatest idea that I never thought of. He like we were talking about, like the first wedding I did, I didn't draw up a contract. I just kind of just, I trusted them, they trusted me, good friends, kind of just did it.
Uh
But he
huh.
was like, nah, bro, draw up them contracts. And what I do is anything over 4 hours requires a meal. I said, okay,
Ooh, I never thought about that.
yeah,
That's smart.
because sometimes if you're doing, think about it. If you go there and let's just say a ceremony or a wedding is supposed to start at 2.
Hmm.
Well, most times as a photographer, they're gonna want you there at like 11 to take before pictures of the guys, before pictures of the girls. Um,
Hmm.
they might want to do their pictures before the ceremony, right? That's what I did. Some people might want their pictures before the ceremony. Then you get the ceremony, then you get the after, then you get this, you get that. So now you're talking about like if it starts at 2, you've been there, let's just say 10, you know, and it's not gonna get over to 8, 9 o'clock, and then you gotta
Yep.
drive home. That's like 12 hours. So
Uh-huh.
you best believe he said you best believe I need to sit down and have a meal, you know, and not
At
to mention
some point,
like
I gotta eat.
yeah, so it's gotta you gotta really look into those things
Hmm.
and really just figure out good business practices
Good business.
and
Oh, you said it there. Good business.
and stand on it.
Yeah, because some people they get into stuff just for the money and not thinking that they're gonna have to cater to and sometimes accommodate other people. Like they just want the
Yes,
money. And I'm like, no. If you want people's money, you have to offer a service and offer it well and be Blake.
you're right.
You don't have to talk.
You really have to just offer, not only just offer, but just really stand on it. Like I mean, like during I took these pictures here. I don't know if you can see them. I took these pictures
That's,
during like
oh, I know
November.
him. He was
I took
with,
them.
with Jay with Jug.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I took a bunch of these pictures during that week. Ralph asked me to do it,
Hmm.
so I came and with the camera, just did everything. I just was really attentive. You know, all these pictures are a little bright, but I did a wedding. You know,
I haven't done a wedding yet, or been asked to do a wedding. I have someone's birthday party on Saturday. I was
I
about to
said,
announce tomorrow, and I was like, wait, tomorrow's Friday. On Saturday.
so it's all about just capturing those moments for people that they would love.
Hmm.
You know, this was one of my favorite ones. How she's blurred out in the back.
And he's smiling.
He's
Look at his
he's
hair.
and then he seen her and he was happier than a pig and shit.
That's what I want to say. If I'm walking down the aisle and my
Yep.
husband to be is not sobbing in tears or cheesing to where I think his ears will fall off because his mouth is chopping him off, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
It's like I don't now. You wasn't cheesing. You wasn't ready for me.
Exactly. I gotta see. How do you feel about me walking down this aisle right now that you about to get married?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
You gotta really just you gotta make sure you love me, homie. Like
Love me, homie.
that's it,
Just
you got
love me. Just love me.
just got it, you gotta love me.
Yep.
So now I have a question. Well, I got a lot of questions tonight.
Of course.
But this question is, when are you and I going to do some photography work together?
Whenever the fuck we schedule it. What do you mean?
All right.
Whenever
All right.
we
So,
schedule it,
so here's what I'm gonna do.
it will be done.
After this live is over, I'm gonna send you my phone number, even though you said you're a bad texter. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna make it happen.
I've been working on it. I have.
We're
I
gonna
said
we're
it
gonna
like
make it
for 2 to
happen
3 business weeks. I respond within 2 to 3 business days.
because my thing is this. Part of the photography is I sometimes I get these gigs and I can't do them right.
Hmm.
Like people will ask me to take pictures, and I know some people who would do it, but it comes with a very extremely high price tag, especially last minute. Like
Hmm.
it'd be like, all right, I got a guy, but he, he's well known, so he gonna charges.
Yeah.
You ask if you hit me on a Wednesday and you need me to do something on a Saturday and I'm available, no problem. You
Yep.
hit him on a Wednesday, and even if he's available on Saturday, you getting hit. You talking, five,
Two or
six,
three
seven
hundred
thousand,
dollars.
huh?
That $200 or $300.
Oh, more than that, depending on the event. I had a guy hit me on Friday to do a wedding on a Sunday. Their photographer got COVID,
Oh,
and I was like, but I had already had something planned. I was out of
I still
town.
don't think I've gotten COVID. Is that weird? I don't think I've gotten it. I've gotten sick. I don't think I've gotten COVID.
Got COVID twice. It sucks.
2 times? 2 times you
Twice.
got that thing?
God
Ooh,
dang.
you still got your smell?
Oh,
That's lucky.
oh.
Because
Like the
I know
first,
somebody that still
they can't smell.
2 years later does not have their smell.
Yeah, I could smell fine. Like the first time I got it, I didn't want to admit it. I'm like in bed and I'm like miserable. My wife's like, take a COVID test. I'm like, no. Take a COVID test. I'm
Speaking
like, no.
of pandemics, I feel like everyone should know this. But the UN and WHO, the World Health Organization, they just voted on the same day that the same 2 days that they were voting on executing Marcellus for nothing. They
For
voted to end basically the U.S. citizens' sovereignty during whatever they want to call a pandemic. So if like there's a new pandemic and they can deem a pandemic whatever they want, they can literally like take away all your rights as a citizen, even to the point where they can go to your kid's school, take your child out of school, and vaccinate them without even telling you.
well, that's worse than martial law.
Exactly. That's I don't know why like because I know a lot of people know about it, but it's not like people aren't mad about it. I'm pissed. So you're saying as soon as there's a pandemic, I have no rights? You can just do whatever you want. You can stub anything you want in my skin. You can do whatever.
Well, it seems like with that, a lot of people these days are really just kind of getting away from that. And what I mean is them like in terms of women's rights. I feel like women and black people and now, gay people to an extent have come a long way, right?
For sure.
And there's more acceptance of things for women, more acceptance of things for blacks, more acceptance of things for gay people. And as someone who is multicultural and things of that nature and has different friends of different backgrounds and orientations, them reversing Roe versus Wade was 100 steps backwards.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Now, Project 2025 is going to be
Oh my.
another is going to be another 500 steps backwards. Them doing that is
Mm-hmm.
another 500 steps backwards. So
Yep.
they're trying to take control of the people. They're trying to take control of
Every
us as individuals.
of everything. They
Like
want to control
who
everything.
why is it that, let's just say hypothetically, you go out and someone decides to force themselves on you and you end up pregnant? Why should you have to keep that child if you don't want to?
Especially if you're a minor, because they don't care if you're a minor or not.
Yeah, like why would you do that? Now they say, oh, well,
The
you get a
logic isn't
baby.
there. I'm telling you, it's not.
Logic logic doesn't exist in any form of anything we do.
Not
So
with Republican rules.
that's why these people who want to vote for Donald Trump, if you want to do that, okay, but here's what I'm not understanding is like this guy's a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon, you know?
I'll be honest. I never in a million years thought I would say it, but if you pay attention to what he's actually doing is vote Trump 2025, 2024. Only because like even a lot of all right, the racist, the bigotry stuff, okay, all right, but the stuff he was actually doing behind the scenes that I didn't even know about. Because
Right.
before I was more ignorant on political things, and I was just caring about what he was saying. It was the grabber about the pussy. It was like all these things that he was saying, but then the things that he was actually doing behind the scenes actually benefited people I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like when I just told you about the U.S. sovereignty thing, when he was president, he was trying to separate the U.S. from the UN from all of that, so that when that stuff happened, we wouldn't be a part of it. I did not know that.
Wow.
It's a lot of stuff that I feel like I don't know about politics that I want to get into because like it's starting to really matter in
Well,
your everyday
I,
life, like who's in charge and what they're doing. And I mean, it
well,
was
I'll
always like that, but like it's getting scary.
well, I'll agree with you because there are things that Trump did do that were good, for people.
Hmm. It
But
was bigotry. No one is gonna like take anyone seriously that's has like these openly racist or bigot comments. And I feel like because of that, people and me included did not pay attention to what he was doing behind the scenes. Because I was just like, you're racist. You don't like people. I don't like you.
right. But there's other things that he does that help the country. The
Yeah,
taxes were different, gas prices were lower. You know, but unfortunately, my opinion, Kamala Harris is going to win, and
that's all
she's
you
going to
got.
win,
Of course.
and she's going to win for the wrong reasons.
Hmm.
She's not going to win due to like policies. Like her idea of giving people free money is a problem because okay, you want to give people money, all right, but what? If you really think about it, why do we have inflation now? Because during COVID, the world, they gave out free money, all that extra unemployment,
All
all those extra stimulus checks. They were giving that money. So guess what? Everyone's got money they ain't working for. Now they got money that we can charge the money because it ain't gonna matter to them because they ain't working to get the money.
honestly, I feel like the way people are being brought up to think makes it seem like a lot of the things that are going on now are okay and normal, and they're not. I've had someone, I swear to you not, I've had someone, I was working at Amazon and she was pregnant. She was working well into her pregnancy. And she was telling me, like, well, I don't want to get on welfare or whatever the case was, whatever government help she was talking about. She was like, I don't want to get on that because, like, then people have to pay taxes to help my kids and people shouldn't have to pay taxes to feed my kids. And I'm like, yes, they should. I'm like, in what world do people feel like it's not their business to make sure every kid, especially when people are so pro-choice,
Right.
in what world is it unfathomable to have to pay just a few like extra cents on anything to feed someone else's child?
Yeah.
In what world is that unfathomable? She's like, they shouldn't have to do it. I'm like, yes, they should. These are kids. Kids are born into the world not knowing anything about all the fucked up shit that the adults have already been done. Kids are the one thing that should be taken care of, because
Regardless.
they didn't ask to be here. They don't know what's going on. They're innocent. So, like, yes, people should feel obligated to help you feed your kids because they're kids. We're living in a system where you can't provide for them. So why not let us all come together and provide for them? It's our government teaching people that they shouldn't rely on our government. Our government is here for us. Why are you getting mad at people on welfare?
And
Every time you get money, here go the government with their handout, looking like the Blue Sisters from the Proud Family with their handout, everything you got going on, and then you're gonna get mad at people for wanting some of the government's money. It makes no sense to me. It will never
well,
make sense to me.
well, it's just like I was telling a buddy of mine earlier this week. We were having a
Uh,
conversation, and I was like, "Listen, look at what your money goes through before you get it, right?
mm-hmm.
Taxes. state taxes, Social Security, 401k if you have that.
Yep.
If you're like for me, my job's union, so got to pay union dues, got to pay child support. Look at all those layers it goes through, and then you
And for
get
anybody to get mad at you for asking the government for a dollar or anything is beyond me.
well, it's just like with me and my ex-wife, we were getting food stamps, at one point, and it came to a point where um, it was getting rough, and I remember reading the paperwork and it's saying it was going to run out in May, and it was March. So I said to her, I said, "Hey, you should probably go and check with them to make sure we were good. That we're not going to have to start paying fully for food."
And,
They were giving us like $1,100 a month.
and not even just that, if you make, because someone, I was literally just talking to someone about this before, but like, if you make more than $600, I guess a week or whatever, they'll deny you for like food stamps and all that stuff. And I'm like, either these people have really never, like, they're so detached from the everyday person's life, or they're so rich that they just don't have like a comprehension of like, who in the world is surviving off $600 a week?
Mm-hmm.
They think $600 you should be good. Ramen noodles every day. Pay
Hold on,
your car note,
cereal
your insurance, your bills. They think pay all of that. You're good. You don't need help with food. And it is the most unfathomable thing ever.
and food's expensive.
Food is expensive. And then they want to keep raising the price on things. They're just purposefully trying to set us up for failure at this point because there's no way you think that you're going to keep raising the prices of things, not raising how much people are getting paid, and then also not helping people and expect everything to be okay.
And then they wonder why people are working three, four, five jobs.
Or wondering why people like me are plotting to start a rebellion. So, like, what's going on?
Like what other options are left? You know?
People in the past was overthrowing governments for less.
Yeah, exactly. It
People
didn't even.
colonial times. Well, you're about to take away our rights. Hell no, we're going to war right now.
Yeah, like
Everybody,
nope, nope.
grab your pitchforks, grab the fire. It's time to set fire to some shit.
Oh man. Well, I gotta say, this has been one of my most enjoyable episodes.
I'm
You know,
uh-huh.
um, I can't. I now I can't. I can't see what he said.
He said, "Gotta have Johnny Gill playing in the background."
Yeah. Oh, no. So I gotta know for you, what's next?
Next for me is to take a small break from modeling and get more into acting because I feel like I've been
Okay.
doing more modeling than acting. So my goal for the rest of this year and next year is to get more into acting, more roles, more speaking roles, and you know, helping. I feel like and also helping younger people because one of the things I wish I did was get into performing way younger, and then have someone that could show me what I needed to do way younger. So helping anybody that needs it and getting more close.
Okay. Okay.
And
I can.
maybe getting my son into acting because my son is a little actor in the making, I'm telling you. He might get into it before I do. Like I mean like get more into it before I do. Like that child is an actor for sure.
How old is he?
He'll be 4 December 30th.
Oh man. Oh, so he's yeah. They start young.
For sure.
They start young. They be acting. I got one of my friends, his son. He was one day he was going crazy, crazy,
Uh-huh.
losing his mind, and he looked over at us to make sure we was looking that we. He wanted to see if we was looking at him. We weren't looking at him, so he's like he just wants attention.
For
Like that,
sure.
but that's what they do. Like even if you're not giving them positive attention, attention's attention, right?
Everybody likes attention. People just don't like to admit it.
No,
And then they
no,
like to make fun of people who want attention, like you don't want the same thing.
you know,
I guess sometimes it's how you go about it.
and it's not always the right way.
No. And then sometimes you want attention from a specific person, and that's okay too.
You gotta love thyself.
Exactly.
So each episode, I end with a positive ending message, something that you say to the audience who might still be here since we've been on for almost 3 hours, or or something you say to someone who can watch this back. Just anything positive and uplifting to the audience.
I would say something that stuck with me that my English teacher used to say. Every time we were about to leave class, she would say, um, she would say, read some books, learn new things, be nice because everyone's fighting their own personal battles out there. And I remember, I don't remember exactly how the first part goes, but I remember the be nice because everyone's fighting their own personal battles out there. And I kind
Mm.
of live my life by that. Like, I'm always nice first. If you ever meet me, I'm gonna be nice first. I don't care what mood I'm in, whatever I'm mad at. If you're fresh meeting me and you're not the one that made me mad, I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna be like cool, because you never know like who's going through what. And if I see someone going through something, and I can help, I will try. Really, just a sense of community. I really like that. That's the type
You
of
know,
person like I am, and I wish like the world was like the Avatar, the blue people, the way they lived, like as one, like together. Like that's the way I wish the world was. I'm actually have to go to therapy because I'm realizing that the world is so fucking terrible, and I
mhm.
wish it was different.
Yeah, we never gonna get what we want. Never gonna get what we want out of this world, and this world is just not made up of a lot of good people. Like there's so many good people, but then there's so many not good people. Like it's scary.
The crazy thing is, I think there's more good people than bad. I just think the good people have such a little voice, and all the people with all the money and the power, they're the bad people, and they have a bigger voice. So it makes you feel like the world, like people are just innately evil, or like most of the world is bad, and it's really not. Most people in this world are good. Most people in this
Hmm.
world are good-hearted, and they want to do things that can help other people. Most of the time, for most people in this world, it feels good to help other people.
Right.
For most people, it feels good, but the people in charge, the people in charge of what you're seeing and what you're intaking on a daily basis, as far as propaganda and as far as like reality TV, or like whatever you're being like programmed to think, it's not always good. So it makes you think that there's not a lot of good people, but there are.
Absolutely. We just have to find them.
Amon said the good people want to be left alone on farms, and
Yes.
I agree 100% because literally I want to move out of America and just chill with my son somewhere where I don't have to feel like all the food is poisoning him, the air is poisoning.
Hey, listen, he's the man to talk to about food and all
I
that.
know.
And listen, I was in when he was on, I was in school. And like, yo, and then like it just flowed so naturally. He just like I even asked the questions, and there was a point where he answered 7 questions, and I didn't ask him. I literally sat
Yep,
back, and just let him explain to me what it did. He explained what sea
yep.
moss is, why he named it what he named it, explained what it does, what it can do for you. I just was like, hey, you got to let him have the
I just
floor.
one
Like,
of those people in my life that I know I would always want to keep in my life because he is such a good person, and
oh,
because
absolutely.
like when we talk, I know like we're on the same page. Like he said, I'd just be here floating, but low key, me and him are on the same page. Like, do your thing, farm, mind your business, be nice to people, but like also at the same time, whew, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. It's about to get me heated right now.
Oh, go for it.
Boom. People think because you're like spiritual, or because you're like a nice person, that they could treat you away, right? And they could just treat you away. You're not gonna do anything. Can we please stop that? Can we stop? Because I could be in
Oh,
my healing phase, I could be spiritual, and I could be a great person. But that doesn't mean if you disrespect me, I'm not gonna talk my shit. Cause I'm gonna talk my shit. I don't understand.
you go.
I would just someone made this post earlier, like they're someone was like came for them, and then when they came for them back, they're like, well, aren't you spiritual, whatever? What does that mean? So you're saying because I'm spiritual I
I
can't talk my shit because you're
it does
disrespecting me? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
that math don't be mathing.
That math don't math.
He
Two
said
plus two
facts.
equals
I
seven.
spiritually beat ass with holy water on my hands in Jesus' name.
Thank you, Ahmad. Because yes, I'm healing, right? I'm a nice matter of fact, by default, the soul that I got in reincarnation, I'm a nice ass person. I'm always gonna be that way. I tried to be another way, and it just felt like I was swimming against water, thick ass water. Like I was just fighting against myself. I can't be a mean person. But what I realize is that when someone comes for me, I don't have to be nice. I don't have to be understanding. That was my problem. When I was younger, if someone was mean to me, I'm trying to be understanding like a dumbass. I'm like, oh well, this person's mad. This person's going through a lot. Let them talk to me away, and then when they're not so mad, we'll talk. No,
No,
no, because now I'm like, I don't care what made you mad. If it wasn't me, don't talk to me away.
listen, I'm a Gemini, so
I'm a Leo.
oh, so you well, Leos are mainly calm for the most part,
They're
but
calm until you give us a reason not to be calm.
exactly.
I'm
So
always gonna try to talk shit out first. That's just the type of person I am. If there's an understanding, if I felt like you was talking shit about me, if there was a problem, I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna talk to you privately. I'm not about to do the whole Facebook shit or the whole talking in front of mad people. I'm gonna hit you up privately so we can get this together. If we can't get it together, I don't have to talk to you. I'm gonna cut you off. If
exactly.
there are certain people that you can't cut off. If I can't cut you off, I may not seem like it, but I think I'm a tit for tat person. But for me, it's not tit for tat. It's I'm gonna treat you how you're treating me. I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated first, and then as time goes on, I'm gonna treat you how you're treating me. Because if you're treating me away after I've been treating you how I want to be treated,
Well, I think what it is too is like one of my favorite bars by
yes,
Jadakiss
uh-huh.
says, "Blood makes you related, but I go off energy.
Yeah. Do you know that whole quote?
Energy,
The
huh?
blood is thicker than water. Do you know that whole
Of
quote?
course,
Yeah.
of course.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't care if we're blood. Can we build this relationship between us?
Yeah, like so when you look at it, right?
Hmm.
And I'm a believer. Like if your energy's off, I don't even want you around me because
Exactly. I like
because
good energy.
our energy, if it ain't gonna align, now sometimes it don't have to align perfectly. Like we just gotta be in the same. Like me and you, I feel like we're in the same stratosphere. Like you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like it's just
We are
gotta
not.
be.
We're right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, like yeah, I think we are. But even still, we gotta be in the same stratosphere. Like if your energy and my energy ain't matching, like it's like, sometimes not all energy is bad energy. It might not just go with your energy,
Yeah, it's just different.
you know? So
It,
I think some people don't know how to handle their energy,
yeah.
like their own. Like I had someone just recently, they was like, yo, man, I see you, like some random dude, like he's like, I seen you on Facebook or something doing your podcast. I should come on and do this and that. I'm like, whoa, bro,
Uh huh.
your energy here, mine's about here right now.
See, but okay, okay. Mind you, though, that's the kind of energy I like. I like enthusiasm because if you're enthusiastic about any type of project we have going on together, I know you're gonna be putting in ideas. You're gonna be putting in energy.
Right.
So I can't be too mad at them. I don't be mad at it at all.
Well, you see, but when you attack me at a store and shock the shit out of me, you know Not just say, "Hey, man, I seen you on the podcast online. I was wondering if I could be a potential guest. This is what I do." So, yo, man, like he came up behind me, kind of just snudged, like pushed me a little bit, like, "Yo, man, I seen you on the podcast.
No, oh no, don't
I
put your
want
hands on me.
you know."
Don't.
He's just like, "Yo, man, you did a great. You're doing great. I want to come on, do this, that, that." And then I was like, "Bro,
Nah,
like,
nah.
yo, like,
This is
like, if
okay.
you
Well, this is what I meant by I used to be too passive aggressive. I swear to you not when I was drunk, I let someone slap me. Not even like a full like bone slap, but like it was just like a little tap on my face. But I let them do it, and I swear if it was me now, I would have slapped the shit out of that person.
like,
So for me now, and like the after the growth I've done, I'm like just come to me respectfully, because I'm always gonna come to people respectfully first.
right,
I'm always gonna come to you respectfully first. Because what if I have a problem with you? Is I don't feel like I need to buck. I don't need to come at you like, bitch. I heard you was talking shit, and what the fuck? Like, I want to fight you. Like, I don't need to do that. I'll be like, yo, I heard you said this, and I know that's not true. So I want to know what your sources are, and I want to know why you felt the need to say that. Let's talk
yeah.
about it. If you can't talk about it, I'm okay with throwing hands. I used to box. I could fight. I'm all right. But I don't want to do that. I want to talk. I'm a lover,
You know,
not a fighter.
you just want to talk, be nice and cordial, be nice, cool.
Oh
He said,
no.
"Oh nah, no bueno, bro." Dude's energy was like, and like, yo, to make matters worse, it was like really early in the morning.
Hmm.
So like, I ain't even like awake. Like that's like the one time like I don't want to deal with like people. So like, as a truck driver, when I would start my day,
Uh huh.
me and my friends throughout the course of the day, we would talk on the phone. But when I was driving to that first stop in the morning, driving, I'm on the road. I just need my music, time to decompress, especially on a long ride. If I was going to Kingston
Exactly.
or even Poughkeepsie, if I was, like, but if I was like in Newburgh, you want to call me? I ain't got no ride to get nowhere to decompress. But I'm like, but if I got a ride, leave me the hell alone.
Yep.
I'm going out Dover planes, leave me alone. When I
Yep.
get there, you talk to me all day. Talk to me till you turn blue in the face. But until I get there, leave me the hell alone.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
so
one of those like I feel like because I really don't sleep like that. When I do sleep, it's so hard to get me to wake up to the point where like someone could full like wake me up. I'm eyes open and everything, and they'll have a conversation with me. I'm still asleep though. So like I'm like, you're talking to me, and then you expect me to remember this the next day, knowing that you were talking to me fresh off the wake up. Please make it make sense. Please make it make sense. I can't do it. I'm one of those people. I wake up and I'm confused as hell. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am. What dimension am I in? Am I in? Like, did I just come? Did I just astral project? I'm here, or like, what are you talking to me about? You can't freshly wake me up personally and expect me to be coherent, because I can't.
nah, there's a process.
Especially when I work overnights. So it's like if I'm sleeping during the day and you wake me up, it's like waking someone up at 2 or 3 in the morning. If you wake me up
Oh,
at 12 p.m., it's like waking me up at 2 or 3 in the
so
morning.
you work overnight?
Yeah, I work 6:30 to 5:15 in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah. So when I wake up, I'm so extra confused and discombobulated. It's crazy. I wake up flabbergasted.
you said 6:30 to 5:15,
6:30 p.m. to 5:15 a.m. 4 days a week. Yes.
and what you're off what? So you're off what, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday? That's a good sleep shift.
It's a slave shift. Yeah, I'm off Thursday, Friday, and
I
Saturday.
mean, that's a benefit. But that's like when I drive at work. When I gotta go to Long
Mhm.
Island, it's like I gotta get up and go at like I gotta be there at 1:30 in the morning.
See, but I get off work at like 5:15, and like besides this past week, because like I was sick and I really wasn't feeling it. I go to the gym with my friends right after work till like 7 something, and then Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, one Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have my class at school at 10 a.m. So like my sleep schedule is like non-existent. So like when people ask me like, "Am I tired?" Please don't ask me if I'm sleepy. I'm tired. Please don't ask why I'm taking a nap in the middle of the day. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. Let me chill.
Let me just let me do me.
We do need to farm. You know what? And this week got to be the week I go to your farmer mod because it's just that time.
I can't
To
even
be honest.
lie. When he told me he was a farmer, it kind of threw me off guard.
Really?
Yeah, because you like listen. When I first started this show, I knew a lot of my topics personally.
Uh huh.
So now I'm getting into this element where I don't know. Like now we know each other pretty personally. Now I know him pretty personally. But so when he was like I'm a farmer, like I didn't like show it in my reaction, but I thought to myself I didn't see it because okay, if you listen to his music, right,
Uh huh.
and I'm listening to the lyrics,
It's that woke rap.
it's like it's like from okay this. And one of the first videos I seen of him, or that I vividly remember, is he was sitting on like a porch. He was sitting on something, and there was like cop lights around, and
You
him
you said
telling,
cop lights?
yeah, like it looked like police cars were going by. There
Oh,
was like
cop.
lights.
I said
Yeah.
cob, like corn on the cob. I
Oh,
said it with a B. I said cob lights. Uh huh.
so I'm
I was
just
like, what's
like,
that? I
and
never heard of that.
so I'm listening, and I'm like, I'm really like into it because I'm really a sucker for lyrics. So
Me too.
oh, I love me lyrics. Like most people, they was trying to impress me.
Arrest you for a while.
So I'm like, so when you hear what he's talking about, like he's spitting, and you like, oh, okay. And then he's like, yeah, man, I'm a farmer, and I'm just like,
Those lyrics in
the
yeah, I farm.
like I haven't heard you rap
I'm
about
farm. You never
farms,
see counts
so it
outside.
kind of just threw me for a loop, like up here,
Uh huh.
but hey, he explained the story and why he likes to do it, and you know what? That was another one of my favorite episodes because he just was authentic. Also, EP is dropping late October. You know what
Just seen
that
that.
means. You know what that means. Honest Hour's taking a break, but the music corner's coming. So I had to delay it. My first guest had to push her project back. So let's get it. I'll
Let's
be.
get in there.
We try. Yeah, that's why.
I be
Like,
feeling like I should start a podcast because I could really talk. I talk about anything all the time. I could talk. I got the gift of gab. I think that's why, out of all the irregular ass names that my siblings have, I have the most normal one, which is Gabrielle. Because I had the gift of gab. That's what it is. I could talk. I could talk about anything.
there's nothing wrong with
Anything.
it. That's why that's how like my wife always says to me, you talk too much. Okay. So I'm gonna go where I can talk to people. And
Yeah,
then
start
and
a
then
podcast.
and then if someone's gonna pay me to talk, shut your mouth. Someone's
Don't
gonna start
let me get paid to talk. I'll never shut up.
listen,
They're never gonna get me to shut up because I already
listen,
can't shut up.
and then now you wanna pay me? You wanna pay
Like
me money to just do what I like to do already?
to speak,
Shit.
you're gonna pay money to speak. I could.
But that's just like like I look at certain people like Stephen A. Smith. This man goes on Sports Center or does his show like during basketball season. He does his show first take. I can't do a podcast. I'm canceled first episode.
For what though? For what? What would you be canceled for?
So he does his talk. He does
I
his
would be
show
canceled
10
for
to
cursing.
12,
First,
and then he'll go and do Sports Center. Then he'll go and do Inside the NBA or the pre-show, which is like an hour. Then they'll do halftime, which is like a half hour. Then they'll do the after
back to back
show.
to back.
Do it all on the same day. So he'll literally be working from 10 a.m. just till like 1 in the morning, and then get up and have to go do first take again at 10 a.m. Yeah, like
Hmm.
listen, these journalist dudes and these guys who be talking. Oh, and now
We be
he does
thinking
his
these people
own
have it easy. They got it hard.
he does his own podcast now too. So
Oh
he'll
shit.
just first take his podcast, some of these other shows, and then when NBA comes, he's doing those shows too, two to three times a week.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be speaking truth. That alone is enough,
You know,
man.
if I could be completely honest about something, I'm an introvert at heart. Like when I told you my whole childhood was me reading books and eating sunflower seeds, I'm not playing. I didn't start going out till 17 or 18. So like as much as I want to be like famous only because like it would give me more like jobs where I could do what I love. Ugh, the thought of having to be accessible to people like almost 24/7 or to like have to run from interview to interview to interview or like be like out and about all the time kind of
Cringe.
it would kind of just make me feel away only because like I'm introverted. So like when I'm on like a stage or on a screen or on a TV, playing that part, I could do that. Me being my regular everyday self is such a hassle for me. I feel like on the inside because I'm neurodivergent. Like just being myself is such like it may not come off on the outside, but on the inside I'm fucking struggling. So like I couldn't imagine. This is why I feel like some people who are introverted have like these extroverted career goals and they get into like performing and stuff like that and they end up having mental breakdowns or
Mhm.
like stuff like that because you want to be in the house, you want to be in the house curled up with a book, and yet here you are, you got to talk to people who want to know all your business, and you got to go outside and do all this stuff. So like at the same time as I want to be like famous because it'll give me more jobs, I feel like I would be like one of those people that would have to take constant breaks
Um,
because I'm awkward and I have anxiety and all this other stuff. So like,
I suffer from anxiety too.
yeah,
Anxiety,
so give me grace. Give me
depression.
grace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
it, it's not very easy to really deal with those things, especially when you have to deal with people within your everyday life that don't understand them.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you just need that. Like I remember one time I shut my phone off for like a day, the whole world was gonna end. Like I'm an avid Snapchatter, right? I sent one snap in the morning and everyone thought I like died because I didn't. I'm like, yo, can I take a mental health day? Can I not answer the phone? Can I just sit here and just do what I want to do? And that's just play PlayStation and do nothing, not be bothered by anyone or anything. Is that
Yeah.
okay, War?
I'll be honest. Like sometimes I feel like maybe like low key, subconsciously, that's why I don't post consistently because then I feel like people will expect that from me, and I know I can't give that. So I'm like, let me just, you know,
Post a little erratically, like here, there.
sporadic for sure.
Sporadic, yeah.
Speaking of sporadic, some people don't realize that you don't need social media to survive. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you. I'm about to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
But yes, yes, Ahmad.
Nah,
Yes.
you definitely right. It is. It is a bad drug. Like you can definitely survive without it. It's different if you're using it for a lot of business purposes, but people just they get too involved with other stuff. Way too involved. And it's like what are you doing? What are you doing? Like every day. But you don't need it to survive. It's not an essential like water. Water is an essential, not social media. Something I'll never know. All right. Oh God. I'm gonna wait for her to come back because I want you to hear something about about that I realized earlier.
Hey, I'm back and I'm better.
So me and the mod were just kind of like I was talking, he was commenting about the awful social media thing, right? So today he was talking about the offset thing that happened with Cardi.
Oh my god, I just made a status about this earlier.
So I said we over here talking about Cardi being offset. Meanwhile, the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, has been indicted for crimes on bribery and foreign donations.
Heavy
So,
fraud.
yeah, you know,
I
so
seen that story earlier today. I didn't know about that before today.
I didn't either, and I will say that I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, we really up here in an election year talking about Cardi being offset and Cardi being offset, right? We up here talking about Diddy, but we not talking about him. We ain't talking about this election. Or to his point, we ain't talking about Marcellus Williams like we should. It's so bad. Like, listen, my mom is pro-black, right? She's like pro-black. She didn't even know. We had a conversation. Today's Thursday, so it wasn't yesterday.
Uh
It was Tuesday. We had a conversation. We were catching up. Hadn't spoke to her in a couple weeks, and she's just like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about this." I said, "Google it." I sent her, but I ended up sending it to her, and she goes, "Oh, this is wrong." I said,
it's
"Yeah,
crazy how many things you wouldn't know about if it wasn't for social media.
yeah."
It's crazy.
But the reason I say that is, if you look at this status, I don't know if you've seen it earlier, right? You can see that there's 4 likes, some comments, a few comments. But the problem is that people like drama. So I remember there was a thing, I used to post these positive videos. I really need to get back to those, but I'd post those. So I did a little test one day. I
Mhm.
posted a positive, uplifting video, like 2 minutes. I would have a quote, use green screen, and talk about the quote. Then after that, there was an incident with Kanye and Kim where Kanye's daughter didn't want to be with Kim and wanted to be with him,
Oh,
and she
oh
like
yeah, I seen that. She's like, oh, he has an apartment and he cooks his own food. Why don't we have an apartment? Why don't we cook our own food? Yeah, I seen that.
so. I posted another reel with that in the background. Sat there for 1 hour. Came back 1 hour later. The positive reel, had 19 views.
Hmm.
The reel about Kanye had over 700.
We're living in a consumer product type of thing, which means I feel like people don't understand that what they feed into is what they're gonna get. So like
Right.
whatever gets the most views, whatever the most money put into it, that's what people are gonna keep putting out. So if you keep being entertained by this low dimensional shit, they're gonna keep putting out low dimensional shit. Speaking of what, Ahmad, what are you talking about with the Gettysburg swim team? What is that? I kind of want to know what's going
Well,
on here,
well, here we are in real time.
real time, because this is happening now.
Uh, so I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah,
Can you?
I feel like life in America. I mean everywhere, but like life in America is getting so crazy.
It says a student has left Gettysburg College after a racial slur was etched onto a student's chest.
Oh,
School
I
officials
didn't
say.
know that that's what it was, but I did hear about that. All I heard was that they scratched the word nigga into someone's skin. That's all I heard. I didn't know it was Gettysburg. I didn't know it was swim team. That's nuts.
Is that what she told me? Yep. Yeah, because, yeah. Oh, see, earlier, yeah, here it is. Because under that status, Drika told me to search that. And Ahmad wrote under that that shit was wild when I read it. And I,
Yeah.
and I just got busy. I got busy and didn't get around to to googling that. But see, that's the thing. Like we're living in a world where instead of looking at that, right? We like I'm a real freak, and what I mean is like how like okay, like how like you go into Instagram, right?
Uh huh.
And then you go here, you got all the reels, right? I'll click one, you know, and then I'll just start going through. All of them, 70% of them are about
Mm,
Diddy.
yeah.
Diddy
You know,
memes, Diddy videos, like this Diddy security guard saying how he was involved with Biggie. They brought Suge Knight on the phone on CNN from prison the other day.
I'm not gonna minimize that because that's also important.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not, but what I'm
I'm just
saying,
glad that like people say like people have like a low attention span. They can't focus on more than one thing at once. Like they're distracting us with the Marcellus thing and the debate from what I was telling you about before with them voting with who in the UN about the U.S. sovereignty
mhm,
during a pandemic. But I'm like, you can focus on all of that stuff at once. All of it is bad. You can't say, like, let's forget Diddy because this is going on. He was messing with little kids. Anybody messing with little kids, that should be top priority. This should also
after
be top priority. I don't like when people like feel like, well, forget Diddy, look at this, or forget this, look at Diddy. I'm like, why can't we just look at both as being wrong because that's what they are.
I think the difference though is that people look at Diddy like think about it. Him saying that was
Right.
the first time that I heard about this. So according to what he's saying, the algorithm is built to keep us in dark with smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem isn't, and to your point, the problem isn't that we don't see it or that we don't that both aren't important. The
People are.
problem is that one's highlighted over the other.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they're both important, but
Yeah.
they're not highlighting that swim team. They're not highlighting this mayor. They're not
But that's
highlighting
something also that I wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for social media.
right
I haven't seen it on the news. I haven't got like a alert or anything. If it wasn't for people posting about it on my social media, I would not know about it. And I feel like that's sad.
attention spans have suffered
Yes.
drastically due to
Yeah,
phones.
yeah, yeah. That's
You know,
nothing but facts.
I just had an epiphany, and I this is the second time I've had an epiphany on this show,
Yeah.
but I just have this feeling that you and I have really good on-screen chemistry.
Hmm.
It's not for no reason. I have an idea. I think you're gonna like it. I do.
Here for it.
I, huh?
I said here for it. What's the idea?
Oh no 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 no! It's not fully formulated in my head yet, so I don't
Well, I got a
want to
lot
say.
of those.
Huh?
I got a lot of
Yeah,
those.
it's not fully formulated. Masa sounds like a collab coming. It's along those lines, but it's just not fully like the thought is there. It's in here. It's
Uh-huh.
just right now it's not ready to be out here. But you know, like that's just the thing. That's just the thing. Like I don't see it's just people don't want to do it all. And to his point, like listen, I there's a you know who Logic is? He's a rapper.
Yeah.
White boy. Half white, half black, but he looks whiter than a piece of paper. He he has a song called Interstellar. And
I like a
there's
fun.
a it's on his new album. And I gotta just because this part because my point
Oh,
has to
hold
do
on.
with it.
Let me
Yep,
just
go
do that.
ahead. Interstellar logic lyrics. So he's in there talking about here it is. A lot of people that I meet tell me about their dreams and how they wish they could attain them, even though it seems like it ain't. It's not a probability. Be nicer to yourself. Show humility. While you compare yourself to others on the screen, you could put that phone down, look around, and feel serene. But this thing in our pockets are a part of our daily routine. Distraction from taking action, full of synthetic satisfaction. My dopamine hits from swipe likes and captions. Comparison is destroying your passion. Used to be full of dreams, but now you can barely have a rap. If you ain't
Where are
rich,
the lies?
huh?
I haven't heard no lies yet.
Then he goes on to say, if you ain't rich doing what you love, then what's the point? And it's because of this mentality that you can't pass a certain point. Think of the millions of dreamers that did what they did, then they died. Some were celebrated, others crucified. I'm not saying quit your 9 to 5. That's unrealistic in this world that we live in, and you must survive. But not do not deprive your heart on your sleeve from the blood underneath. Now, people say Logic's a very repetitive rapper and things of that nature, but this song is one of the realest songs that I have probably heard in the past 5 years.
Just lyrics alone.
You know,
That shit.
like like it's just like when I'm like I'm going through this album, or when that song came on, like certain songs hit differently, right?
Mhm.
Like they hit in a way where you're not ready, like Lupe Fiasco, Streets on Fire. Like if you really like when I was listening to that album, I got stuck on that song for a week because I'm like, yo,
That
like
shit hit.
this man is like spitting. Like if you think about it, he goes, where is it? The virus disease, the virus is spreading in all directions. No safe zone, no cure, no protection, no symptoms define the signs of an infection, no vaccines, remedies, or no corrections. Quarantine the dreams and seal off all the connections. Don't let them in, not a friend, not a reflection. Everybody's got it and they want you to have it next. And don't accept them if you want to stay in this exception. No pill can heal the ill, this sickness. Some are still in doubt of its existence. And he goes on talking about the media and things of that nature. But the thing is this song was made in 2000 and like, I think this was what? This
That
was
was
Street
literally
on
my
what?
question. I'm about to say, when did this song come out?
That was like the cool was 2009 or 10. But the thing is, he was talking about AIDS. I personally felt like he was talking about
I was
COVID before
about to
COVID.
say that. That's exactly what I was about to ask. Like, when did it come out? Because either like he knew what it was before it was what it was.
Yeah.
Shit was shit's just crazy. I heard no lies though. I'll say that.
No, and that's the thing. So like to his point, he's saying, okay, we have to do better. Like we as people, because the media is only going to tell you what they want you to know.
Exactly.
That's why sometimes it's good for us to have these outlets. So now with me saying that, now my ideas come full circle and I can explain. This went from an interview about you to a conversation about real life.
I talk about a lot, and I'm random.
and and I think that needs to be showcased. It needs to be, these kind of issues need to be discussed,
Yeah.
and I
Cause
think
I heard
that
I'm sure
it's
most people's algorithms are mostly like what's going on today, like celeb wise, and like what's the most trending thing. And it like my algorithm personally is a lot of like conspiracy theories that are actually true because they've been proven to be true. But it's like a lot of things going on like in the world and stuff because that's what I usually end up like looking at and liking. So I feel like you gotta put things out there so that people can know it because a lot of things people won't know until it's put out there.
right, exactly. And if you don't know, you if you don't know and no one's willing to show you, excuse me, or tell you,
Hmm.
people don't go and get that information on their own. For as much as people are on their phones, they don't go and look for it. And see, even myself, I'm guilty of that. Like you said earlier, you didn't know about the mayor of New York City. You didn't know about
Until
this or
I saw
that.
it on Facebook yesterday.
You know, and that's the truth. So I
Uh-huh.
think it's important that some of that stuff gets out in the
Yeah,
open. That
yeah.
some of that stuff is told, and 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 that people have a conversation about it. And I
Hmm.
think you and I are those two people to have that conversation.
I would do it because that would be my peaceful protest. Because I'm gonna talk my shit.
Well, you know what? We're gonna make it happen.
Do it.
We're gonna make it happen. So I'm gonna inbox you my phone number because
Got you.
we got a lot of business to discuss. This has been very, very, very enjoyable.
And,
You now hold the record for the longest show. Um,
oh really? Oh wait, when do you usually end?
hour and a half. Sometimes,
I
sometimes two
told you I
hours.
could talk. I told you I could talk.
Listen, you wasn't lying, and now look, we got two business arrangements out of it. You know,
Yeah.
we just, it's just sometimes it just flows. You get someone who can talk like my wife's like that. She's like an introvert. She don't really like to talk.
No,
Like to talk to
to,
me, but
to certain people,
exactly. And some people you got that aligned energy, even if you ain't know it was there. Now we know it's there.
we know.
We know.
I mean,
So
I already knew before. Every time we met, it was vibe up under me.
oh, of course. Like that's just how it is. But it's different in a group of people versus when it's just personable.
Yeah.
Even though like people are watching, and shout out to everyone who's been in the room, you know, the whole time.
It's a
Sammy B, what's
festival.
going on? You we just gotta push the envelope. We just gotta kick down them doors. So
Hmm.
for everyone who tuned in, thank you. Thank you for all the support for Honest Hour.
For sure, for sure.
November no, November 19th is going to be the season finale. Next week, I will have on Tuesday, flipping back to the normal day. I will have Erin Boogie on. She is a local radio personality in her own right.
Mhm.
Very dope person. She's going through some stuff herself, and she's ready to tell it to me. The week after that will be Marcus Henderson, local
And
hero,
she's ready
local ball
to
player.
tell it to me.
you know, and then we're gonna keep it going. Sammy B's coming on the show. Shout out to her.
Oh, I
She's
love
in the
her.
audience. Yep, she'll be on October 8th. I think that's the date we picked.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in. She's a vibe. She's so fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got her. Uh-oh. Bring, yeah. I'm gonna try and get down there.
And get it, girl. She said she performing Saturday at the Ella, 7 p.m. in New York, in Newburgh, and she's dropping a music video.
Well, that comes with a music review.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Shameless plug. I know how to read out loud. I can read out loud now.
So
Yeah, bitch, dropping a music video tomorrow. Okay, get with her, Sammy B. Bling, bling.
we gonna get it in. Adobo Jigs is coming on in October as well.
Adobo. The
Yeah,
seasoning? The seasoning
yeah,
too?
that's exactly why he named himself that
He said sprinkle a little bit of him or something. It's gonna
because
be
he
fire.
likes to cook. So I seen him say that in a prior interview. He's coming on. Andromeda's returning to the show. Always, Sammy.
Forever,
Dan-
Sammy.
Daniel Vargas will be on the show in November. And then fingers crossed that Big Veg does not get busy. I will close the season
Big
out with
veg.
him. Big
Veg.
Veg, yeah.
As in vegetable?
Oh, he's a vegetarian.
Okay, get with him.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
veg.
yeah. And he
Big worm. Big perm.
he does his thing though. He's a videographer. He's a podcaster, an interviewer. And he's everywhere. He does big things, and
I have to get
we
with him.
try. You
This
know,
this just made me ready to be on anybody podcast. I'm ready to talk.
me and him try to. I try to have him on the show in May,
Uh
but
huh.
he's real busy, so it's hard. It was hard to get him on the show, but
But
I asked him last week. November, he's like November 19th is open. I said that's why I asked 2 months in advance. People who I know are busy like that, you know,
yeah, that'd be me. I'd be busy or asleep, to be honest, or with my child.
work, child, or school, or at the gym after work,
Or
like
sleep.
or
Or sleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna do it. We gonna get to work. I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you
I
for
now,
having me.
of course, now I can tell you I love you. I love you.
Love you too, man.
We're gonna do some work. Thank you to everyone. Just know that it is Thursday next week. We flip back to Tuesday for the regular show.
Good night, Sammy.
Good night, Sammy. Ring. I love that.
Ring.
Can't do it like her, but I love that. It's just so fitting. We flip back to Tuesday for the regular show. Monday is Nerd Camp Sports. I got my co-host and two special hosts. It's gonna be hard to moderate four people, but we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, people like to talk
Yeah, especially sports, people get passionate.
for
It
sure.
gets ugly. So you have a good night. Everyone in the audience have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.